Hello, hello. Can I hear myself on Twitch? It seems that I can. And can I hear myself on YouTube? I can as well, which means that I can hear myself everywhere and that the stream is working properly, and we are reaching the countdown towards 0, which means that I should switch scenes, and we are switching scenes right now. Hello, hello. The stream has finally started. We are here and everything seems to be working fine. Although I did notice one tiny little thing, and I will change it right away in just a moment. Where is it? What am I looking for? This and that. And the problem of having to do some little things at the very start of the game. Things that I had not planned on doing. And hello, Ayakat. Salutations, French dude. Salutations to you as well. I hope you're doing well. And hello, Marjolaine, as well. How are you? I hope everybody is doing fine. What was I going to do? Oh, right. This little thing. There you go. You won't probably notice much, but it's important to me to get everything set up properly at the start. Now, although to be fair, I have spent quite a bit of time on, what do you call that? On OBS today. I've spent a bit of time on a great many things, actually. Because unfortunately I've had some major issues with good grief. Everything had issues in the past few weeks. I've had issues with Windows, I've had issues with what do you call that? OBS Studio. I've had issues with everything, but at the very least we are here. The stream is working, although no, something is not working for some reason. I've asked you to refresh. Why aren't you refreshing? No! Why did I break my own stream? What happened? Oh, there we go. It appeared. Okay, perfect. I believe that now everything should be prim and proper. Yes, we are good to go. I have made some modifications in terms of setup. Hopefully, you won't notice a thing or perhaps you will notice a slad. That doesn't even mean anything. A tad bit or a slight improvement. Yeah, my brain kind of mixed both words together. It happens to me very often, unfortunately. But we are indeed good to go. So, what was I going to say? Who knows? Sorry, once again. You know what? I'm going to take a sip of my drink to clear my throat. There you go. As I was saying, made some changes to the stream and to the whole setup and things like that. Partially because I did not have a choice because of some Windows updates, some OBS updates, I had so many things to update. Which was kind of problematic, but at the end of the day, I did manage to do that. The one thing that I did not manage to update was my sleep. My sleep does not update. It does not change, unfortunately. But it is what it is, so I guess I don't really have a choice for now. I'm trying my best to get back to a proper sleeping schedule, but I have to admit, I am growing increasingly tired because of said sleep. And that being said, I am here, I am present to stream today, and I am very excited to start the stream on reverse, because it's been a while since we've done some reverse 1999. But yeah, just to get back to my sleep for a tiny second, the only kind of problem with it is that it makes me tired constantly, which means that I don't get to do as much as I want to or as I should, I suppose. And for instance, since I had many other issues to sort out with my computer, And oh, I completely forgot about the fact that my HDMI cable might be dying. That's another separate issue, but the point is, I haven't had time to work on my next video for Withering Waves, which means that it's going to be over a month and a half, if not 2 months, before I get to uploading it. Not from today, but between the time between the last what do you call that? The last video I uploaded and the time that I upload this one, it's going to take a while, unfortunately, which I'm not fond of. I'd like to do this regularly, but well, at the very least, I stream regularly. That, you can't fault me on that one, because I am there every single time. Maybe not every single day, because that's not how things go. I don't stream every day. I stream 4 days a week, which is already plenty enough, in my opinion. If I didn't have a few days of rest for my voice, my voice would die. That would be bad, because then there would be no more streams. Anyway, while I keep yapping for a tiny bit more, I am going to launch Reverse 1999. I have not touched the new story for... I believe it's called The Haunted Highway. Wait, I should know what it is called. It's the title of my stream. Yes. Is this Hotel Haunted, patch 2.1, Route 77, The Haunted House. The Haunted Highway. Okay. It's written on my stream, but I can't read what I myself wrote. So that's kind of problematic. Anyway, the point is, today we are going to do some Reverse 1999. I don't know exactly how many stages we'll be able to go through in a single day. That remains to be seen, because, as I said, the owl is tired, so I don't know if I'll be able to manage streaming for a long period of time. I will try my best to do as much as I can today, but usually for events or even main story things, if it has around, like, let's say 24 stages, I'll try and do the first 12 stages in one stream and then the next 12 in the other stream. But for this specific case, we might go 888, so divide this up in 3 streams. You know what? Let me check. Can I look up patch 2.1 story? Okay. We have something here. I guess, unfortunately, I do not have the actual number, which is kind of too bad. Let me try and figure this out. Never mind, I don't seem to be able to figure out anything, which I guess is too bad. No, this is just a preview. Yeah, never mind. I don't have the information, so too bad. We'll have to improvise and see if we do a 12-12 or an 8-8-8 or something else entirely, because I don't know if there are actually 24 stages for this specific story, given the fact that, well, I have not done the story, obviously. Now then, the game has loaded up, which means that I can switch scenes. Where are you, Reverse? OBS, please capture Reverse 1999 like a Pokemon. There you go. And you can see my beautiful Kakania. She is still there. She is absolutely perfect. And I will probably try and get... oh, it's Argus's birthday. What day is it today? The 11th of December. Huh. Interesting. The problem is I don't know much about Argus because, well, you know, I haven't exactly played the game, at least not this specific update, so I know absolutely nothing about her. Now, there is one thing that I will want to test out, which is voice.
Welcome. There's no need to knock. I saw you, Suzumiya, at the door.
Okay, in terms of the voice, I feel like it sounds fine, because this story does have some voice acting, I think. It should, at least. Which means that I absolutely want you guys to be able to hear everything, because the voice acting in this game is great. Now then, I'm going to start with my dailies, not gonna lie. First off, we do our dailies, and then we'll go and... what do you call that? Oh, I can't gain any more friendship points. Why not? Everybody is at 100. I see. I think every single one of my characters is at 100. Yep, it certainly seems that way. Yep. And yes, every single one of my character is at 100%, which is great. And that means that I can just keep the characters that I enjoy or like in my teapot. Not a teapot, wilderness. So sorry, Desert Flannel, sorry, whoever else I just removed. I think it was Kanjira. And Ulu, you're not among my favorites. You're not bad characters, but you're certainly not among my favorites. Now, let's see. I will put a Tooth Fairy, a Jessica, probably a Medicine Pocket as well. Pickles, 37. Oh, Junyoung. Oh my god, there are so many characters that I like in this game. It's gonna be tough to choose. I mean, part of me wants to put Bloney, Jennifer, with Jessica, because it makes sense, you know? Except, unfortunately, I don't think I will make that choice. I will separate them, which is extremely sad for them, but I don't think they'll notice. Oh, there is Corn Bloom. You know what? We'll go with the hesitation. Let's go with Pickles, just because he's a dog, so he is in a league of his own. You know, it's not like comparing humans together, or I should call them arcanists. They are not human, actually. Well, they are, but well, there is that distinction that is made throughout the game. It's been made quite often, unfortunately. The racism is real in this game, that's for sure. But yeah, and at some point I will probably have to redo my wilderness, because honestly, it's kind of a mess. I completely made a mess of it. So yeah, I'll probably do something like a stream on it, maybe. Who knows? We'll see about that.
It's raining.
Let me do the one thing that I need for the daily here, and then we'll hop on to the story straight away, because
Program activated.
if I'm not mistaken, I will need stamina to go through the story. So I need the stamina for that. I can't use it for other things.
Miracle. Target confirmed.
Come on, Lucy, please kill everything. Perfect.
And now to return to my long-term mission. Rest.
Yes, while you rest, we are going to enter a haunted hotel, apparently, which is kind of scary. I'm not overly fond of horror stories, but once in a blue moon, or once in a Bluepoch. No, God, why did I make that? Nah, never mind. Let's forget what I just said. But
Quiet,
once in a
soft
while, I actually enjoy a good horror story, or horror adjacent, I suppose. Because the one thing that I was thinking about was the event with Jessica, Jennifer, or Bloney, Tooth Fairy. I believe it was called A Nightmare at Green Lake, which is probably one of my favorite event story that the game has ever had. And it had a horror vibe. And here I believe that the Haunted Highway also has some kind of a horror vibe. So we'll see about that. Goddamn, Argus is hot. I think I've mentioned that before, but allow me to focus. Let's watch the trailer together, because why not? That way it will be a nice way to start the story.
Are you all right?
Please help me.
There's a motel close by.
A motel?
Tuesday's motel. Can I help you, miss?
Who are you?
You're in deep now, ain't ya? The name's Argus. Just call me Merc.
That's not a name.
Was that a ray drawn?
It'd be less than 24 hours ago.
I didn't do this.
Gunpowder in his fingers. But this ain't no ordinary pistol. You're in for a lick of trouble, that's for sure. Take me to his room. What are we after, boss?
Firstly, I'd like to know what happened to her. Second, whether the Order of Enlightenment has been here. Why did a Xeno officer come to this place? This motel?
Those calls are meant for the dead. They say the deepest despair comes from hesitation. It won't fool me.
Can it really be that simple?
Yeah, you can't pretend that this does not have a horror vibe. I don't know if it will truly be a horror kind of story, but it certainly looks like it's shaping up to be something along those lines. Now, during that trailer, I tried not to talk too much because, well, I barely said a few words, because I usually want to just experience the thing and then we can talk about it. But the thing is, about this trailer, there were at least two things that I noticed. Number one, there was a character with a white hat, I believe. She kind of looks like Andronala, I believe, or something along those lines. Which is strange because Andronala is only supposed to come out next patch. So maybe next patch is going to be a continuation of this one? Honestly, I am a bit confused. Perhaps they are not the same character one bit. Perhaps they are. Who knows? But I'm happy to see Vertin once again and to see Lilia with Vertin. I'm glad that Lilia has such a prominent role nowadays, whether it is in the main story or side stories, event stories, I guess is the name. And hello, Georgia TV01. How are you? Welcome to the stream. We are talking all things Reverse 1999, more specifically the 2.1 patch with the new story update, or event story, I should say. It's not a main story chapter. I believe we are getting one next patch though, but never mind that. The one thing that I wanted to mention about that trailer we just watched was the fact that they, Vertin more specifically, talked about the Order of Enlightenment. And I think the Order of Enlightenment is the group that Matilda fought against during last patch. Last story with Jay and Jay. Yeah, as you can see, I don't really remember much of who else was there. Mostly, I remember Jay. Although I guess he is a good character. He was an interesting one, that's for sure. How is it going? I'm doing fine. Just a bit tired as usual. Well, not a bit, but as usual, we'll call it that. I hope you're doing well as well. Now then, to get back to what I was saying about this thing, the Order of Enlightenment. I believe it is kind of like the remnant of the Manus Vindictae. Because, I mean, sometimes it kind of seems like the Order of Enlightenment is a separate group. Because they didn't outright say that it was Manus Vindictae. Because as far as I know, after the main storyline ended in patch 1.9, we had the Manus Vindictae lost Arcana, and they scattered around. They scattered about to God knows what places, but they kind of lost their momentum. They couldn't do much after losing Arcana. I believe that the Order of Enlightenment might be one, or if not, maybe all the remnants of Manus Vindictae, and they may be trying to revive Arcana somehow. And that's my hypothesis. This is not an information that I have for sure. It's just what I thought was happening in the game. But that's the weird part, that the fact that the information I just provided, or the the hypothesis I formed based on the information the game has provided, the thing is that information came from an event patch, which feels kind of strange. So I don't know how they are going to restart the main storyline with a new arc for the 2.x series of updates. I'm genuinely curious, and I am unsure of how they are going to make this happen. But that is neither here nor there. Let's hop into the story right away. Can I? Never mind. I can never see how many of these things there are. Can I see it here? No, it's completely locked, because the hard mode usually have only the battle stages, but nah, I guess I won't be able to see that yet. A trail of footprints. Where they lead, no one knows. Strangely enough, the motel looks less scary during the day. It's not strange at all. Usually things look scary during the night. Countryside of Texas. Oh. The landscape is beautiful though. Rain-soaked soil, shallow footprints. Oh, we're starting off with Argus. Goddamn, she has green eyes on this very little thingy that we can see. The portrait on the very bottom side of the thing. Bottom left. And wait, no, she has one green eye and the other one is still grey, because I do believe... No, it's... I can't tell. Even for me, the portrait is too small, but I believe in the trailer she had golden eyes, or yellowish eyes, so the green here is kind of strange. Perhaps she's using some kind of arcane power. A mercenary in a wide-brimmed hat kneels on one knee, left eye glowing brightly. Oh, they mention it straight away.
10.6 inches long.
Is that big? 10.6 inches? I guess that's, what, 25 centimeters? 26, 27, something along those lines. Yeah, I can't count the distance in inches. I unfortunately, or fortunately, in my case I believe it's fortunate for me, but I use the metric system, so inches don't mean much to me. The soil beneath the footprint is uneven. One side presses deeper into the ground.
Signs of limping.
Wide strides, heavy indentations, a slight drag.
Male.
Heavy pressure on the forefoot, lighter on the heel, deep scrapes at the front, fewer at the back.
Around 20 years old.
Wait, how do you know the age based on... I mean, I guess you could see some indication of the age, like when you're older, you don't walk the same way as when you're young because your bones hurt, I guess. But to be as precise as saying he's 20, that's an arcanist for you, I suppose. Light on his feet, uneven pressure on the forefoot.
Lightweight.
She scratches her scalp with the barrel of her shotgun. Right, she did it as well during the trailer, and I find it very concerning. The barrel of a shotgun is not meant to scratch your head. The further she goes, the more irregular footprints the more irregular the footprints become, and the more clues emerge.
More sets of footprints here.
My god, she is very pretty. Loved the design. Makes me want to pull for her, but I have to save. I have to stay strong. There's a rustling in the grass nearby, along with the faint sound of...
Are you sure this is where the materials for the revered one are?
The faint sound of what? Of a conversation.
There isn't even a single trace of human activity here, let alone a market.
Order follower 2.
I guess the only possible explanation is we're here for these plants, right?
And order follower 1. I guess these are the order of... or rather, they are followers of the Order of Enlightenment. And this one, number 1, seems to be an idiot.
Of course not, you idiot.
Well, there you have it.
That's too bad. I'm great at harvesting plants. I'm a pro, see? Check out these calluses. Although my mom would probably disagree.
Yeah, I think your fellow follower doesn't really care.
Do you have any idea what these materials look like? They must be important, so we better handle them with care. Don't want to risk mistaking them for weeds, you know?
You still don't get that they don't care about the plants.
I hope they're easy enough to find. With my leg messed up like this, I can hardly handle any delicate work.
He really is an idiot, I guess.
That's him. The one with the limp.
You know what? I am going to grab a screenshot of her, just because she is pretty. And I like pretty... I was going to say pretty things, but she's not a well, technically speaking, she's just a 2D character, but... Well, never mind me.
Sorry about this, man.
There's a distant sound of a gun being cocked.
But at least you'll see your mom soon. Up there in heaven.
Oh, okay. This is an execution.
What?
Bang. The mercenary decisively pulls the trigger of her shotgun. The bullet grazes the assailant's cheek. God damn. I'll grab a screenshot of that as well. Holding her shotgun. But for some reason, the game looks kind of dim to me in terms of lighting.
Who's there?
Oh wow, okay. No introduction for Argus, no nothing, just straight on fight. Well, I guess I'm going to fight. I mean, I don't have a choice, and I'll take my usual team. Because it's a team that works quite well, to be fair. Buffing,
Agreed.
buffing,
Oh, please. I know how to use
and
it.
killing.
Charging.
Our blood will burn. Oh, don't stare at it for too long.
How many
Eliminate
kills in
target.
one go? Yay! Yay! And we're done with the fight.
Battles have little meaning, save for the prizes to be won.
What are you waiting for? Get your ass out of here.
His trembling hands betray his fear and panic.
You got a couple questions for this one too, huh? Well, first come, first served.
Oh, never mind. So her eyes glowed green when she was tracking Order Follower 2, I guess. But now, actually, one of her eyes is grey and the other one is gold or yellow. So I was right earlier when I was talking about golden eyes, except the eyes, well, golden eye and then silver eye, I guess, yeah. She has heterochromia.
I'm afraid you're gonna have to get in line.
She steps on the man's chest and presses the barrel of her gun against his throat. Ooh, that is definitely screenshot worthy. This is why I love reverse. There are so many screenshots you can take in this game.
Alright, here's how we're gonna do this. I ask, you answer. If you lie, I'll blow your jaw off.
Given how she's pointing the gun at him, I feel like she's probably blow his entire head off, and then he won't be able to answer anything.
Have you ever met a girl named Kayla?
Kayla?
Let's try that again. A girl, about 5'3", chestnut hair, emerald green eyes. Speaks like a Texan.
5'3". Doesn't that mean that she's rather small?
Have you seen her? Yes or no?
I believe 5'3" is like 160 centimeters? Something like that? Well, it's whatever. The man shakes his head in terror.
No.
She smirks.
Then why is her hair clip in your pocket?
She presses down harder, jamming the shotgun into his throat.
I remember. There's a girl, 5'3", chestnut hair. She's always carrying a basket. Her name's Kayla, too. But her eyes ain't emerald green. They're...
The man's mouth opens helplessly as he desperately tries to remember the color of the girl's eyes. It's on the tip of his tongue, but he can't seem to spit it out. The crucial detail he should remember, but has now forgotten.
Tell me how you got this hair clip. The more detailed, the better.
We just bumped into each other by chance. She dropped it on the road, and I thought my daughter would like it, so I...
Relieved to have moved on from the color, the man blabbers on obediently. A finger tightens on the trigger.
I'll give you one last chance. Where did you meet?
At a place called... Tuesday's Motel.
There you go. That wasn't so hard, was it?
Are we going to hear a bang? No, she didn't kill him then, I guess. She hefts the shotgun and knocks the man out with the butt.
Next time just spit it out. Save us all some time.
Are you with the Foundation?
The Foundation?
Yeah. They hate the Foundation, you see. But you saved me. I need some help. My mom...
Wait, didn't the other guy say that this guy was going to see his mom in heaven? Like, isn't his mom dead then? Anyway, the mercenary cuts him off harshly.
I never heard of no Foundation. And I don't give a you-know-what about what's going on between you and them. Got my own matters to deal with.
Interesting that she wouldn't have heard of the Foundation. The Foundation is pretty well known around the world, right?
I'll leave him with you. Keep the gun. You figure the rest out yourself.
Especially if she's an arcanist. I mean, she might not be part of the Foundation, that's for sure, but I figured she would at least know of them. A thin cloud obscures the setting sun, scattering its light. She looks out into the horizon.
Now, where's this motel?
The young follower points a trembling finger southward, where the stars have started to appear in the sky. The red lowlands lie still, their furrows rising and failing gently.
Listen, you saved my life, so I owe you one. I have to warn you, that motel...
Save your breath. We're done here.
Wait!
The follower hurriedly pulls out a few dollar bills from his pocket.
You're a mercenary, right? I can tell by your gear. I'm worried about my mother. If you see her on the road, please give me a call.
He hesitates for a moment before taking off a metal locket from around his neck.
Here's a photo of her.
The mercenary opens the locket to reveal an elderly woman with a kind smile.
Got it.
She hands it back to the follower.
And here, my phone number.
He writes a series of numbers on a blank section of one banknote.
And listen, be careful. Something ain't right about that motel.
All right.
She takes the money, slips the dollar bill with the phone number into her pocket and turns away. The afternoon heat lingers on the highway. The mercenary makes her way back to her car, shotgun in hand. She comes to a sudden stop.
1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep.
Oh, could this be Barbara? I believe her name is Barbara. The sheep-looking arcanist girl. A soft voice echoes from afar, and she notices a fluffy white figure circling around her car. I guess it is indeed Barbara.
Is that a sheep?
Yes, a walking, talking sheep, apparently. The fluffy creature turns its head. It's a sheep-headed, human-bodied arcanist.
2 sheep, 3 sheep. Funny how we hit the hay every night, just like kids hit the books every day.
What the what is with this one? Why does she have a little one that is jumping on top of her head? And because the thing is, this one seems to be on the tail end of the jumping motion, but he's kind of frozen there, which I understand because technically speaking, these are 2D characters and more like images. But the thing is, why would it be on the tail end of the jumping? Why wouldn't he be, or it be, just plopped onto the head on all 4 legs? So, I'm trying to understand.
I'm Barbara. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Barbara. The sheep-headed arcanist extends a hand, a gesture befitting an introduction, but she doesn't get the expected response.
You're in my way, ma'am.
I've tried waving and shouting at the drivers, but none of them stopped for me. Thankfully, pacing around the road seems to have done the trick.
I don't think so, Barbara. I'm afraid not.
Listen, if you need a ride, here's my answer.
She gets in, closes the door, and looks at the hitchhiker through the open window. I'm gonna grab another screenshot.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
My driver left me here. Probably because of that scraping sound on the car roof. That scared him half to death. Everything happens for a reason. Destiny's brought me to the right place, I think. Could you give me a ride? I'm on a business trip, so money is no object.
It ain't about money.
Yeah, and I think she just said no.
Oh, a disappointing answer. But I understand. One must be vigilant. If you don't mind me asking, miss, what happened to your eyes? They're bloodshot. It's best not to drive with your eyes in such a state. You have a much higher chance of getting into an accident.
That ain't none of your concern, Miss Sheep. See ya.
The mercenary closes the window, finally blocking out the endless chatter. She turns the ignition key, and the radio bursts to life, blaring disco music inside the vehicle. I'll grab a screenshot of that as well. I think I'm going to grab a screenshot of almost every single panel. She shuts it off and stomps on the gas. The engine roars as the speedometer climbs higher and higher. In the fields on either side of the road, shepherds are herding their sheep. Unwelcome memories begin to surface. The land at the foot of the hills is covered in Indian grass, now turning a sunset red as autumn approaches.
Argus, come over here. This little lamb almost didn't make it out of her mama's belly.
This is Kayla. For some reason, I feel like she seems a bit sickly. The girl cuts the lamb's umbilical cord with a pair of scissors, while the ewe lies in the hay, baying weakly. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The ewe? E-W-E. I've never seen that word before, so...
That's life.
Don't say that. No living thing is born to suffer. Look, it's already standing.
But there is that phrase, why are we here? Just to suffer. The EU... You know what? I'm going to look up how to pronounce that word. If they are going to put it on several times, I might as well try and know what it is. Oh, this one. Okay. Use. Oh. And you. Okay, that's a very strange way of spelling you, but okay. Then it's for a baby sheep, I suppose. Baby lamb, I guess? Anyway. The ewe licks off the afterbirth as the lamb struggles to stand on its shaky legs.
What an adorable little thing.
She grins as she wipes the blood and fluid from her hands onto her apron.
It's getting dark. We should take them back. Ain't no way they'll make it through the night out here with their mama hurt, and you can't see a thing at night.
You're right. Let's go.
The wind sweeps through the grass and rustles into the distance.
Screw it.
Argus grits her teeth and yanks the steering wheel, screeching her car into a U-turn. She slams on the gas, rushing back to where the sheep-like arcanist was. But when she arrives, there is nothing but a few cotton plants swaying in the breeze.
Should have minded my own damn business.
She turns the wheel again, harder this time. The tires screech as she makes another U-turn and drives off. In the distance, the sun dips behind the hill. Her vision is fading. She switches on the headlight. As expected, the light is too dim to make up for her night blindness. She can hardly see a thing. A hard break. Bang. Unfortunately, it's too late to stop the crash. To be continued. As usual. That is the one thing that I wanted to do throughout this stream to make my life a bit easier, which unfortunately I had hoped I would do earlier. But it is to note down when, in terms of timing for the stream, when I'm doing each stage, because I do go back to my own VODs, especially on YouTube, to put in timestamps for each stage, my bad. So yeah, noting down when I'm changing stages will make my life easier. So this is going to be stage 2. I guess I am at around 46 minutes. Okay, let's go on to stage 2, Fog Descends. This is not an ideal day for a drive, regardless of the vehicle. Well, I mean, I guess if you are, getting into a car crash, that's never ideal.
Before we left, TTT was telling me an urban myth about Texas.
Wait, we have Vertin again, yay! And she knows TTT. Interesting, because I don't think we've seen TTT thus far in the game, at least not in terms of story relevance. We've seen Sputnik in the last one, so there you have it. Another character other than Jay. There was Sputnik in the last patch. And I think there were a couple more. But yeah, TTT I think is the first time we've heard about her inside the game.
Huh, sounds about right. What's the story about?
Lelia, my beloved.
The story starts off in the typical way. A man was driving down a long Texas road when he saw a girl hitchhiking. He offered her a lift and a piece of chocolate. The man dropped the girl off at a cemetery and drove on. It was late at night, so he was hoping to reach his destination quickly. Soon after, he saw a funeral procession going down the road. The photo of the dead seemed familiar. Curiosity came over him, and he followed them to the cemetery. Look, a piece of chocolate.
Stephanie. She was 25, I think? A sudden beeping interrupts her story.
Give me a moment. I have to take this. It's from the Foundation.
Oh, I love the pixelated Vertin here on the top of the screen. Oh, it's so cute. The voice on the other side is as calm as ever.
Timekeeper, this is an emergency notice. The Xeno base in Texas, USA has conducted a large-scale evacuation. Xeno has not yet responded regarding their actions. Should you encounter any difficulties on your trip there, please contact headquarters immediately.
Understood.
Despite these developments, your mission remains the same.
Xeno is not really the type of organization to pack up and leave usually, so the fact that they chose to evacuate, something big must have happened.
Contact U2 editor Barbara, who was last seen near Route 77 collecting information, and find Erd's current whereabouts through her.
Ah, so that's how they pronounce it, U2. I kept pronouncing it UTTU. But okay, U2 editor Barbara. So Barbara works for the magazine that we play with. Like, we do some reading, and there is a whole section of the game dedicated to that, but never mind. It's more of a gameplay thing. And Barbara is working for them. Okay, why not? I don't know who Erd is, though. I don't think I've heard that name before.
Since U2 editors use a special communication channel, her current location is still unknown. We'll be in touch as soon as there's any new information. Any questions, Timekeeper?
No. Thank you.
I wonder why the Foundation keeps calling her Timekeeper and not that many people call her Vertin.
All the best, then.
The communication ends. Lilia looks thoughtful.
What did they say?
There was a mass evacuation at the Xeno base in Texas.
What's that all about? They called me 2 days ago, saying that Red 38 was still under routine maintenance in their armament factory. But now, all of a sudden, they're gone? How am I going to get my Red 38 back now, huh?
Oh, she's gonna be pissed.
If they hadn't taken her away for inspection, we wouldn't be traveling in this little car, wasting all day on the road.
The operator only mentioned an evacuation. It's still possible that some of them have stayed behind to keep the factory running. If you're worried about Red 38, we can take a detour there. It's in Chisos. The town isn't far from here.
Lilia squirms in her seat.
Hey, mister, can you take us to the cheeses? It's just a little detour.
The way she said it, it kind of sounded like Jesus. I don't know the town of Chisos or the Jesus or however you want to pronounce the name of that town. He taps his fingers rhythmically on the steering wheel.
Girls, I don't know why y'all are here, but whether it's just for a bit of adventure or for business, I gotta tell you, something ain't right in that town. We've all heard the stories. Scratching sounds on car roofs, animal bits stuck to car grills, and those people in black robes running around. It's all too weird for me.
Give the ghost stories a rest. Look, if you're trying to negotiate a higher price, at least be a little smart about it, instead of trying to spook us with a few tall tales.
You got me all wrong. Who in their right mind would throw away the cash in their hand unless they were forced to? Benjamins are good and all, but they ain't worth my life. Ain't no way I'm taking you there, no matter how much cash you throw at me.
Why? Were you the driver in that ghost story?
No.
Have you seen these things happen yourself? Come on! It's just a little detour. It won't even cost you much fuel.
He clenches his hands tightly around the steering wheel, his knuckles turning white from the pressure.
Sir?
You see that? It's fogging up.
Ouch, my eyes. Thick, milky fog envelops the car. The driver pulls over.
Ain't no way this fog is natural. We shouldn't go any further. I'm stopping right here.
Ugh, fine. I'll drive. Swap seats with me.
I don't think that's the problem, Lilia, but this is why I love her. She always cracks me up.
No! Nobody get out of the car.
It reminds me of the movie, I think it was called The Mist? Or yeah, I think it was just The Mist. It wasn't The Fog, but it was a movie inspired from a Stephen King book, I believe. And there was this whole mist covering up a town. People started dying because there were monsters in the mist. And eventually, I believe that one dude managed to escape with his family, I think. But the mist was pursuing him. Anyway, that's not the point. I'm not going to recount the entire story from that movie. I just got reminded of it, and I'm going to be honest, it wasn't that good of a movie.
Why?
Are you kidding me? You haven't heard the stories, have you? Then what in the hell are you even doing here? When the fog rolls in on Route 77, you should always stay in the car. All kinds of terrible things hide in the fog. Some folks say they saw giant white crocodiles. Others say they saw dead bodies hanging from trees. Ain't nobody leaving this car. Not until the fog's gone.
So they are just stuck, I guess? Screech. He's interrupted by a drowned-out scraping sound on the roof of the car.
Is that?
Oh, come on! Don't tell me you're scared of this stuff.
No response.
He's fainted.
No, seriously? Wow. A strange atmosphere spreads inside the car as they sit and listen to the scraping on the roof. But this is nothing compared to what happened at Green Lake Campsite. Ah, thank you for the reference, Green Lake Campsite. Best story event, in my opinion. Well, perhaps not the best, but one of the best, that's for sure. Finally, the scraping stops, and a few black and white figures dart past the windows.
I see. This looks like the work of a mumus. It's a critter commonly seen in the southern US. When they're frightened, they produce a fog-like gas from their respiratory trumpet.
So that sound is just some critter scratching along on the roof.
Lilia opens the door.
At this rate, I won't get my Red 38 back for another month. Well, I always wanted to try this. Help me move this guy. And you'll have to give up your passenger seat, Capitan.
I know what you're thinking, but do you have a US driver's license? Or any driver's license at all, for that matter?
I don't think she cares about all of that.
What do I need that for? I can fly a broom and even do all those maneuvers. That takes more skill than driving a car, don't you think? Ha! Compared to flying, driving a car is child's play. Just look at the number of drivers compared to pilots in the world.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a point, but it still doesn't work like that. Following the pilot's plan, they adjust positions.
Now, where do we start?
She glances at the dashboard in front of her. This doesn't look like the interior of an SU-01. I don't know these letters. I know this is not actually a B, the lowercase b, but looking uppercase. It's a Cyrillic letter, but I don't know how it's called. A minor issue, but this is the name of the model of her Red 38, her broom. She thinks back to her training.
Start both engines. Keep the tachometer at 70%.
Yeah, a car only has one engine usually, and I don't even know what a tachometer is, but I don't think that there would be one in a car.
Here's the nose wheel steering, the position indicator for the joystick, the throttle lever. Ah, and these are for the flaps.
The hell is she talking about?
No, that's not right. We're in a car, not a flying machine.
Ah, there you go. She finally figured it out. The rear seat passenger quickly fastens her seatbelt.
Let's just get out, Capitan. Can't wrap my head around this hunk of metal.
Good decision.
If these critters are responsible for this fog, our solution is simple. We drive them away. Let's go.
She opens the door and the thick fog outside rushes in like a tide. But is the fog problematic? Oh, to be continued. But we have something here. What is this? Tales and Journeys. This magazine column was always popular, but now the columnist's trail has vanished near Route 77. Read magazine. Ah, some reading for me. Not a lot, that's fine. The Hitchhiker's column. Since our last column, we've been inundated with letters, tapes, and voice recordings from our passionate readers. I must say, the impact of the piranhas in the sewers story exceeded my expectations. One anonymous reader compiled 23 different urban sewer predator legends she picked up during her travels and asked when I was going to write about the country witch who turned into a hare. She fondly recalls how her grandmother's amusing witch stories, tinged with a touch of gentle fright, would lull her to sleep as a child. I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to this reader. These contributions are invaluable to my writing, and I'll soon delve into these childhood tales. Stories of mysterious, transformative arcane skills are truly captivating, and their prevalence might be more widespread than I initially thought. As we continue with the last issue's theme, sewer legends intertwine with conspiracy theories. For example, in a tape sent in by Mr. K from New York City, a relative of his staunchly believes that the government secretly hired a team to feed albino fish living in the sewers. In previous investigations, a teenager shared his thrilling experience. He encountered a human-sized, upright walking reptile and rodents in the city sewers. These stories often end with the line, "The government knows they exist, but the higher-ups are keeping it all hush-hush." More radical speculators suggest that city sewers can easily be used as experimentation sites, with piranhas, alligators, giant snakes, and all manner of other dangerous creatures being secretly bred by the government or mysterious organization for unknown purposes. In our next column, we'll be returning to Texas, where this series began. As you read this, I'll most likely already have set off on a new adventure. Perhaps our paths will cross on the dusty roads of Texas. Oh, interesting. Baby broadcaster. The good news is we found a radio station. The bad news, the host hasn't learned to speak yet. What? How does that even make sense? I wonder. They get out of the car and step onto the asphalt road. A barely perceptible moisture fills the air. The mist is pervasive, even filling their ears and nostrils. A faint breeze runs along their faces, like a spider's web blowing in the wind. A flash of insight comes to her from some distant, unreachable place.
What is it, Capitan?
Someone's casting arcane skills nearby.
Baby cries. The crying of a baby throbs faintly in her ears like an insect bite.
Do you hear that? Sounds like a crying baby.
Better go take a look.
The grass is rustling as if something is moving nearby.
You know, a Texan soldier once told me about a notorious bandit back in his hometown many years ago. He would record the sound of a crying baby and play it outside the homes of single mothers. Then he'd wait, ready to attack them if any of them opened their door to look for the baby.
That sounds like a horrible person.
Yes, but the actions of one man don't negate all other calls for help.
Of course not. It's just a reminder to be ready for anything. We're close now. Prepare yourself.
Got it.
The grass sways and the faint crying stops. The fog grows thicker. My eyes.
Vertin, over here!
A broken flashlight lies on the ground. The damage looks recent. Not far away, they spot a foot in a black shoe and a pale ankle disappearing under purple fabric.
Hello. Please help.
A frail woman tightly cradles a swaddled infant, her body curled up and trembling with fear.
Are you alright, miss?
The maid turns her head. Her face is pale, as if all the blood had been drained from it. Gonna take a screenshot of that.
Finally. Someone, please help me. These critters won't let me leave. Every time I try, they knock me back. My baby's starving and crying. If you hadn't come, I really don't know what I would have done.
The critters make a wary sound.
You mean these Moomus? I've never read about them attacking anyone in any reports. In fact, they're known for being rather timid.
Reports don't necessarily capture the whole story, Capitan. Look at them. They don't seem very timid to me.
The Moomus before them opens its mouth wide, revealing its sharp white teeth.
Careful, it's going to attack!
Time for a fight? Time for a fight, indeed. And apparently my Semmelweis is weaker. Never mind that.
Program activated.
And we'll do the usual. Buff. Buff.
Oh, please,
Heals.
we don't have to use it. Our blood will burn.
Hold on. Psychiatrist at work.
I mean, this
Eliminate
is the
target.
easy fight, so, and it's the very start of the thingy, of the, not the stage, but the
Battles
story,
have
so
little meaning.
this
Save for
is
the prizes
obviously
to be
very
won.
easy. Might not be later on. The creatures scatter, the grass rustling as they flee.
They always run off so quickly.
The woman pulls herself up off the ground and brushes the dirt from her skirt.
Are you alright?
It's interesting what you just said. They always run off so quickly, so this has happened to her several times, I guess? But that's kind of sketchy. I mean, why would she be there with her baby every single time, getting caught up by these murmurs? Like, how does that even happen?
Did you get a good look at them? Those slippery little things look like seals, don't they?
Yes, they do. I was looking for the word. They look like not heels. They look like seals with horns.
They always jump on passing cars and rub their flat hind legs on the roof, making that coarse, scraping sound. Amazing creatures, aren't they? These little fearmongers.
Wind sweeps across the plains, dispersing the fog. The woman's face flushes red as she sways lightly in the breeze.
But they are, in fact, easily frightened. The slightest movement could startle them. That's why it's foggy all year around here. Many of my guests have trouble finding their way to the motel.
But, I have to say, I am very suspicious when I see a baby that I can't see, because it is said that she has an infant in her arms, and we can see that she is indeed carrying something, but the thing itself is covered, so I am always kind of suspicious of these things in stories.
Are you ladies looking to check in at the motel?
Motel?
Yes, Tuesday's Motel. If you're looking for a comfortable bed for the night, it's the place to go. Anyway, thank you so much for saving us. I owe you one.
She has very pretty hair. I love the way they drew it. It's it's just lovely. She pats the swaddled baby.
Excuse me. Are you the maid at Tuesday's Motel?
Oh, I almost forgot to introduce myself. Folks around here call me Tuesday. Hey, Tuesday, over here. Hey, Tuesday, breakfast for one, please. Tuesday, Tuesday. Oh, ain't we all like horses? And our names like the rain's pulling at us.
Okay, are you okay? You don't seem to be okay. She looks the two of them over.
Do you need a place to stay, ladies?
Thank you for your kindness. But our driver's still in the car. We can't just leave him there.
And our luggage and travel documents are still in the trunk, along with our cash too. Let's head back now that the fog has cleared.
Shall I lead the way?
You?
She looks the maid up and down suspiciously.
What were you doing out here alone anyway?
I was waiting for a guest. It's been 2 hours and they still haven't shown up. I thought, rather than waiting here, I would pay you back for helping me. I assume you parked near Route 77? Let me take you there.
The setting sun scatters its light, illuminating the dogwood and cotton plants in the fields.
That coward.
The car is gone. Nothing remains but a few scattered pieces of luggage.
He just threw out our luggage and took off. How pathetic.
Well, I was concerned for a second, but at the very least, he threw out the luggage. I mean, it sounds bad, but at least they have their luggage. He could have taken off with their luggage inside his car.
At least he didn't take the luggage with him.
Ah, there you have it. Vertin agrees with me.
Are you going to thumb a ride with all these bags? I'd advise against that. Especially here. You've seen those movies, right? Bad things can happen on the road out here. There are a lot of smugglers around these days.
There's a clear concern in her voice.
Did you say your motel wasn't far from here?
Yes. Come this way. There's an easy trail that won't dirty your shoes. Don't worry. It ain't far.
Yeah, she's very suspicious to me, Tuesday. Something's wrong with her. The walk isn't far indeed. Before long, they are standing in front of the motel.
When night falls and the signs are lit, a weary traveler may find a comfortable place to rest here.
Under the shade of the neem trees, the wooden porch awaits its owner, darkening in the fading sunlight.
Welcome to Tuesday's Motel, ladies.
Oh god, I just bumped into my desk trying to reseat myself. Hopefully that didn't make too much of a noise for you. I certainly hope not. But I guess it's kind of too late to worry about that. Oh, and we are in for a fight. Medal of Honor. Let me note down where we are at in terms of the stream. Medal of Honor. It is from the giver that honor derives, not the receiver. Fair enough, from what I understand. It is actually. It does make sense. The maid stands behind the front desk in the motel lobby. She's checking in her new guests.
That'll be $25 altogether. Will that be on card or cash?
Cash, please.
The maid holds up the passport, comparing the information on it.
Hey, do you know if there's an armament factory in the town nearby?
An armament factory?
She studies Leila's outfit and smiles as she responds.
Yes, there is one. Would you like a map?
She opens a drawer, pulls out a map, and hands it to her.
If you plan on visiting, make sure to return early. It can be a difficult walk in the dark.
Lilia quickly finds the town labeled Chisos on the map.
Doesn't seem far from here.
It's about an hour's walk. I'd recommend leaving tomorrow morning. It's getting late. It's best not to be outside at night.
Thanks, but I'm going right now.
She really wants to get back her red 38, eh? She moves with swift purpose to the front door.
Nothing can go wrong as long as I have red 38 by my side.
Well, you don't have it now, so things can go wrong. And why are her cheeks flushed like this? Did she drink again?
Call me if anything happens.
Like what? I can handle myself.
A rush of wind enters as Lilia opens the door and makes her way out of the motel.
Don't worry. She'll check in later.
Here's your passport.
Have you been working here since the opening of this place?
Yes.
How's business?
The maid laughs softly.
Not too great. It's the off-season now. You don't seem too good at small talk. Is there anything you'd like to ask?
I do have one question. Have you seen a sheep-headed arcanist around?
I have. She shows the information provided by the Foundation.
Oh, that's not a face you'd easily forget. And why are you looking for this arcanist?
For world peace? What the fuck is that answer? Looking for an editor of UTTU, or UTU, as they said.
UTU. I think I've heard of that before.
My bad.
That's a magazine specially made for arcanists, right? Well, I'm sorry to say that I've never met an arcanist with the head of a sheep. I can help you ask around if you...
Suddenly, the ceiling starts to tremble. A surge of arcane energy comes from above.
What? Sounds like something's going wrong upstairs. Sorry about that. Let's head up. Your room's on the second floor, too. Then we can take a look at what's happened.
Sounds good.
Just so you know, the guests upstairs are a little...
The maid hesitates.
Well, you can stay behind me if you like.
Is Tuesday going to protect Vertin from the guests upstairs? Oh, Argus is here. A voice echoes from down the hall.
It's just a simple room swap. I'm sure it won't be no trouble at all for a generous lady such as yourself.
That's the guest staying in room 210. She arrived here the night before yesterday.
Wait, isn't 210 the number of the beautiful man from the Apeiron, or the School of Apeiron? I think his number was 210, right? The brown head dude, very good looking, kind of looking like a Chad. So I think that was his number.
She was injured when she came in. Seems it didn't take her long to recover. But I don't quite understand why she insists on swapping rooms with the other guests. If she does the same to you, please call the front desk. I'll do my best to help.
Why didn't you offer her your help? She needs it more than I do.
Oh, Things don't work like that here, miss. Everyone has their own secrets. With the variety of guests we get, it's best to keep your mouth shut, or else somebody will shut it for you.
That vaguely sounds like a threat.
Although there are fewer bounty hunters around these days. My advice is to stay quiet if you don't want any trouble, especially if you're dealing with an armed mercenary. You know how things like that play out down here in Texas.
Understood.
The voice down the hall continues.
Or do you have something else in mind?
Is your room bigger and better than this one?
Okay, so from the portrait, this young lady, I guess, either she looks like Andronala or she looks like the girl who killed Jay's friend. The girl from the forest, who... I don't know if she's actually human or arcanist or something else entirely, but she certainly looks like her, that's what I'll say. A more lively voice chimes in.
That's the guest of room 218 speaking. She too is a young lady like you.
You remember all the guests and their room numbers?
You'd remember her too if she'd been staying in your motel for a month. Miss Kimberly's been here for just over that.
Her name is Miss Kimberly. To me it feels like a fake name, but sure. I'm only saying that because she looks like someone we know. Hello, Stephen. I think you're not okay. The maid quickly moves towards the source of the voice. The man before her looks haggard, his back slightly hunched, his eyes yellowed and cloudy.
Mirror. The mirror.
Mr. Stefan, are you coming out for some fresh air?
Everyone in the hallway turns to look at the maid.
Maid, you're just in time. I'd like to swap rooms with this Kimberly lady.
If Miss Kimberly and yourself have come to an agreement, then I see no reason why you can't do so.
The man makes a dry, rasping sound, his vocal cords trembling unnaturally. It's like he's speaking for the first time in his life.
Timekeeper?
Oh, so he recognizes Vertin.
Have we met?
This response seems to trigger something. His expression twists. I mean, I believe he is the Xeno member who ends up on the floor, as we saw in the trailer. And I guess it's no surprise that he would know of the Timekeeper, of Vertin. She's probably quite well known.
Vertin?
That's me. Do I know you, sir?
Finally, someone who calls her by her name.
I saw you. In the newspaper.
Wait, she was in the newspaper?
The newspaper, that vacuum bomb. Did you see the explosion? You must have, because you made it happen. You dropped the bomb, you murderers.
I guess he's talking about the bomb that we used to kill Arcana?
But have any of you been brought to justice? No, not a single one. Instead, you were congratulated and given medals. Revolting. Disgusting. Why were you rewarded for murder?
He blabbers on, working himself into a frenzy.
Meanwhile, I'm stuck in this hotel. Lord, is this what my life has come to?
But we've never met before. I don't even know your name, sir.
Of course you don't know me, but I'll get the truth out. I'll expose your crimes to the public.
And to be fair, Vertin wasn't the one who set off the bomb. She was with Arcana, and then Arcana was teleported away, and then she was bombed. The man's deranged rant continues, his knuckles turning white as he clenches his fists. And I believe that the bomb itself was dropped by Xeno. I believe there was an alliance between the Foundation and Xeno in order to take down Arcana.
That rotting woman in the tub. That sheep-headed monster. And that one inside the mirror.
The rotting woman in the tub. That one I don't know. The sheep-headed monster is Barbara, I'm guessing. And that one inside the mirror. Kakanya? Or Isolde? These are the only people we've seen inside mirrors thus far, and that was thanks to Kakanya's powers.
Sheep-headed, you say? Wait, sir.
Shh, don't startle him. He's totally crazy.
I should have known it was all fake! If they're giving out medals for killing people, then I should have one too. That shiny medal. It should be mine!
Argus is certainly right about that. He's lost it. He bites down hard on his lip, his cloudy eyes staring straight ahead. He steps forward.
Stay back!
Oh wow, she pulls out the shotgun immediately. But the man has already lunged at them. Oh, and this is who we fight. I see. Sure, we'll go with Lucy. Wait, it's just a, one dude? Well, I mean, this is the easy fight,
Let
so
us have a fair fight.
I'll go with Lucy. But for the harder difficulties, I might go with Winsong, since it's a single target fight. Let's see. Buffing, more
That was
buffing,
certainly a choice.
and a little bit of killing.
Huh. Very well. Would you care to lie down?
Aim and shoot.
Rotten luck!
Under attack.
You've got to be kidding me. 18 HP. Wow. Well.
A simple arcane trick.
Loading.
Agreed. Bang, bang!
Goodbye.
And now to return to my long-term mission. Rest.
A single blow from the butt of the mercenary's shotgun knocks the man out. The maid breathes heavily, her face slightly flushed.
I'm ever so sorry about all this, Miss Vertin. You've only just arrived, and you've had to deal with so much trouble already.
Oh, it's no trouble. In fact, I'm glad that we came here. That man said he'd seen a sheep-headed monster.
Oh, that. He's quite delusional. Surely you won't take the ramblings of a madman for a fact, will you?
Well, it's still kind of a strange coincidence that he would speak of a sheep-headed person when we ourselves are looking for a sheep-headed person.
He's been peculiar since the day he checked in. He spasms and twitches and pays little attention to his surroundings. It's best not to have a face-to-face conversation with him. Who knows what he'll do next?
Hey, you, maid. Enough chatter. You have a job to do.
Yeah, this is definitely the girl from the forest. Did Vertin not see her? No, never mind. Vertin was not there. Matilda was there. Jay was there. Jay's friend, whose name I unfortunately forgot. I was trying to remember it. It was something along the lines of Hilic. The word that comes to mind is frolic, but I know that's an actual word and it's not his name, but it resembles that. So anyway, but I'm fairly certain these are the same characters. I think. The girl impatiently interrupts their conversation.
I've accepted the offer this, Miss Argus made. What's next? What should we do?
And why does she have fake cat ears with her hair, kind of like Kuching from Genshin Impact?
Apologies, Miss Kimberly. I'll be with you in a moment.
Or Dia as well, I guess. Maybe there are more, I don't remember, but these two definitely came to mind.
Could the both of you wait for me at the front desk? The rooms need a tidy up before they can be occupied. You may take a rest on the couch in the lobby while you wait. Miss Vertin, I'm afraid I'll have to leave you here. Do you mind going to your room alone?
Not at all.
The suitcase sways with her steps as she heads to her room. Once again, the air pulses with the flow of arcane energy, compelling her to look back.
Ma'am, you can just leave the room as it is. If you clean it, it'll interfere with my work. You might want to check on that Kimberly lady. She looks starved. She wouldn't stop shaking.
It was screenshot time. A cluster of emerald light sparks in the mercenary's left eye, scattering like a bird unfurling its brilliant tail feathers.
Oh, Miss Kimberly, would you like something to eat?
Well, Miss Kimberly certainly seems agitated here for some reason. I guess she truly is starving?
I'm fine.
The guest's face visibly sours.
I agreed to change rooms, didn't I? Why are you two still mocking me?
Why do you think they're mocking you? She turns her attention to the mercenary.
You're not exactly a pleasant person to do business with. You know that, right?
Well, darn. What got you so riled up? It's too late now. A deal's a deal. You can backpedal if you like, but it ain't wise to mess with the girl packing heat down here in Texas. Later, Miss Kimberly.
The mercenary's eye gleams as she turns the lock and enters her hard-won room. And Vertin had something to say about the arcane skill, I guess. Let's go straight away to the fight. We'll do the hard mode right away. That way, at least it'll be done. Did I miss anything here? No, okay. So we'll do the harder fights first, and then we'll move on to the next stage. I guess we'll go with this team. It's been a while since I've used this
Keep the
theme.
sample.
Although maybe this is kind of overkill. We'll see. This is probably overkill.
A good point.
Given that,
Relax.
it could be found.
A new hypothesis.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Intersect and divide.
Taking another look?
Yeah, okay, that was certainly overkill. My bad. My bad, my bad. Now we'll still go all the way out.
A good point. A new hypothesis.
And this one, I guess?
No other study could show you this.
Well, the guy's
Taking
dead.
another look?
Kind of disappointing, but that's fine.
Victory? Okay, but what does it mean?
I mostly wanted to, you know, just switch themes, not themes, teams up. Because I've been playing my Lucy team with Kakanya for quite a while now, and it's very good, perhaps even too good. But more importantly, I do like to switch things up and play various characters.
Relax. A new hype. A good point.
I should have gone with not Vertin, with 37.
Taking another look? No
Ah,
other
never
study
mind,
could
this is
show
going
you
to be
this.
overkill as well, isn't it? Hey, how dare you? I do have enough. Yay.
A new hypothesis. A good point.
And I'll move you here to make sure that I get my,
The benefits of
that I
field
don't
mapping.
lose one of my
No other study
incantations.
could show you this.
And next round we kill.
Don't touch the device.
As usual. Do I want to? Nah, it doesn't really matter. Wait, why don't I have my, my ultimate? Well, that's certainly disappointing. I should have had it. So I don't really know why I don't.
A new hypothesis.
Given that.
Well, I guess we will kill without the ultimate.
Don't resist.
I really wanted to use
Taking another look?
Song's ultimate. It looks cool.
Intersect and divide.
Oh my god, okay, fine. Be that way, game.
Okay, but what does it mean?
Now let's start a sudden message, which is stage 5. And we are at 0132. In most cases, code is not suitable for human connection. Code is not suitable for human communication, if I could read properly. Room 207, Tuesday's Motel. The door creaks as she opens it, and her nostrils are hit with the distinct scent of floor wax. She flips the switch, and after a brief hum of electricity, the room lights up. Did I just say electricity? Never mind.
That man, Stefan. He clearly knows something. But he appears to be rather mentally unstable. And he's hostile towards me. Madam Z cautioned me on this. I must be extra careful when dealing with people like him. Should make sure I have a backup plan in place before proceeding. Still no sign of Lilia.
She tries contacting her on her communication device, but the line is busy. She tries again, but still no luck.
Did she get in trouble?
Suddenly, the phone on the nightstand rings. It vibrates violently.
Hello?
One, two, three, four.
Hello?
A series of strange tapping sounds comes from the other end of the line. Could it be Morse code?
Is that Miss Tuesday?
One is for yes? Maybe not. I don't know Morse code aside from SOS, so this is not going to help. The short and long sounds are distinct. They form a certain rhythm.
Oh, I think I know what this is. That's an R.
Okay.
E. S.
Ah, yes, that is the S. 3 short sounds, then 3 long sounds, then 3 short sounds. As for the SOS. So we are at res.
P.
Resp?
O.
Respo? The phone is abruptly hung up, but it doesn't matter. The thoughts are complete. Respo? What?
Respond.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what this was supposed to be saying. A message conveyed through Morse code. Yeah, I did figure that one out, but never mind. A means of communication that sacrifices efficiency for safety. It's commonly used in intelligence, but rarely for anything else. Why would there be such a message in a motel? Again? The telephone rings again. She picks it up without hesitation.
Hello? Is this Miss Vertin?
Miss Tuesday?
Yes. I have an announcement for you. There's a service outage going on in the area. Some critters nibbled through the cables of a nearby signal tower. But all our internal phone lines are still running well.
I see.
It should be repaired soon since we share the signal tower with that armament factory. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause.
Very convenient that the lonely motel in a lonely town no longer has cell reception.
I'll bring you dinner up later. It's on the house.
Wait, but you didn't even ask her what she wanted for dinner. I don't want to ask about the strange phone call to Tuesday. She sounds suspicious to me. So I'll ask about dinner. I don't want to tip her off, so yeah.
May I ask what's on the menu?
We have one free meal a day. A ham sandwich and a glass of milk.
A ham sandwich and a glass of milk? Well, I mean, I know you only paid $25 for both Lilia and Vertin, although I guess that's money from, like, I was going to say 40 years ago, but actually no, that's closer to 60 years ago. I think this is the 1960s. So, well, but still, that's not a whole lot to eat.
If you'd like to have something else, we've also got roast chicken and hummus and a few simple Mexican dishes.
That sounds better to me.
Thank you. I'll ask my friend what she thinks when she comes back.
Oh, and the kitchen closes at 9. Please take note of that. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm good for now. Thank you.
As she hangs up, she feels a light touch on her neck, like a feather brushing against her skin. She reflexively touches her neck. It's a spider's web. She follows it up to the corner of the ceiling.
Spiders?
A spider falls onto the surface of the wooden cabinet. It moves its slender legs, crawling from one shadowy spot to another. As it moves, sparks ignite in the air. Then the glow of an arcane skill. She can see everything clearly.
Is that an arcane array? The pattern's familiar. I've seen it somewhere before.
The surface on the bedside cabinet has a rough engraving on it. She traces the markings with her fingers, trying to discern their texture and direction. It's cool that they've integrated the arrays in lore, I guess, or in the story, because thus far the only times I've heard about an array was during gameplay, during combat. Oh, it burned blue. The array burns her fingertips, and in that momentary pain, memories are awakened.
Yes, I've definitely seen this before. When I was in school.
Oh, those days when you were in school. Definitely not the best of memories. Bathroom SPDM.
This is an extremely dangerous array, one that you are prohibited from using. It can go easily beyond the caster's control. We study Arcanum and tame it for our use, but once its power surpasses our limits, it is highly likely that it will lead to our own destruction. I need you all to remember that. It'll be in your next exam.
The students put their heads down, and the sound of scribbling fills the classroom.
Vertin, are you listening? The instructor just said it'd be in the next exam. If you like, you can check my notes.
The top student nervously clutches her notebook in her hands.
Oh, thank you. My mind was somewhere else. Why have they made it a key point of the exam if we can't even use it?
I have to admit, I did ask myself that same question.
They didn't teach us about arrays so that we could use them.
But so you could recognize them?
They wanted us to be able to identify them so that we could avoid danger.
She looks out the window. It's getting dark.
It's highly likely to cause an explosion or other severe consequences if I act too hastily.
The array glows faintly.
Lilia still hasn't come back. I must find someone else to help.
What qualities should an ally have? Decisiveness? Efficiency? Some means of offense or self-defense? A sudden knock on the door interrupts her thoughts. She opens it to a familiar face.
Hey, we met back in the hallway, remember?
Yes, I certainly do. Oh, she has a scar on her right eye. I didn't notice it the first time around.
Now it's your turn.
What exactly do you want from me, miss?
The mercenary raises an eyebrow.
Well, it's simple. The person I'm looking for is right here in this motel, and I'm scouring every corner of it to find her. Look, Missy, I don't want to make things hard for you. Name your price, and we can talk.
If this person's gone to such great lengths to avoid you, perhaps she doesn't want to see you at all.
Well, that ain't my concern, is it? A job's a job. Whether it's catching a cheating spouse, tracking someone down, or delivering a letter, it don't make no difference to me.
Very well. But you'll have to look elsewhere, I'm afraid. There's no one but me in this room.
Huh. Look, I know what I'm doing. How about you turn around and take a good look around the room?
So you can knock me out as soon as I turn my back to you.
The mercenary gives a hearty laugh. And hello, Ktos, how are you? I hope you're doing well.
Missy, if that were my plan, I wouldn't have spent all this time talking to you. I much prefer to do my business pleasantly. I don't like to see things get too ugly.
We are in the middle of 2.1's story event, or event story, I guess, for Reverse 1999. I'm good, I got Nouvellette and Jean in the same temple today. Did you win your 50-50 then lose it, or did you lose your 50-50 then get the guaranteed in the same temple? I hope it's the former, that you won your 50-50 and then lost it. Win then lose, oh that's great, because that means you have a guaranteed for whatever next character you want. Oh, congratulations on that, you were very lucky. But then I got Zhongli's weapon. Oh, you probably weren't aiming for that. Do you even have Zhongli? I hope so. I mean, his weapon is not exactly the best. It's the best in terms of drip. Like, it looks good on him. Nope. To be honest, I don't know of any character who can use it, who can use his weapon. I gave it to Thoma. I don't remember exactly what his weapon does, but I mean, I guess if you had nothing better on Thoma, that's fine, I guess. But, I mean, if you got Nuvi and Jean in the same temple, I hope it was early, so that you still have enough to go for the weapon for Nuvi. Because Nuvi's weapon really makes a difference. I mean, you can use other free-to-play weapons with him, but it's better to have his signature weapon as always. But still, 2 5-stars in a single temple, your next 5-star character guaranteed. I'm at 30 or 40 pity, I can't remember. Do you mean for the weapon banner or for the character banner? Either way, I hope you get Nouvellette's weapon.
I see.
Fine. If you don't want to turn around, I'll tell you what I see.
For the weapon banner, you are at 30 or 40. I mean, I guess it still requires about 30 to 40 pulls unless you're lucky and get an early. But at the very least, I mean, you should probably try and get Nuvi's weapon, otherwise the fate point will disappear once the next patch rolls out, so you might as well go all in and get the weapon. The mercenary squints, the same emerald light shimmering in her eye. Oh, it's a pretty effect. I love it.
You've burned your finger there. You should be more careful.
I will probably get it with Abyss Reset and try some theater. Yeah, you could probably manage to get that. But good luck. I hope you get it early. That way you might have some leftover pulls for Mawika or Sitlali for the next patch if you actually want them.
This is...
Don't look like a fire burn to me. What was it? Some arcane energy? Looks like this room has a couple secrets, too.
The mercenary shifts her gaze to the room further away.
So you touched an arcane array, and its power burned you. How's that for a guess? Pretty close, huh?
What is this? Just a quick second. What is that message? Vous permet de vous assurer que vous êtes à l'écoute du sommeil alors qu'est-ce qui s'est passé toi? I just translated the message, which is in Russian apparently, and unfortunately Google Translate does not really help me with what it means. So, like the sentence itself means absolutely. It really. Oh wait. The atmosphere of this patch makes me nostalgic for the horrors of the Green Lake. I regret that I abandoned the game then, but I'm glad I came back. Ah, okay. Okay, for some reason, Google Translate from Russian to French, it made no sense, but from Russian to English, now it does make sense. Okay. I don't know if you can understand me, though, so I hope you can, otherwise this will be pointless, but I understand you being glad that you came back, because this patch definitely feels like the nightmare of Green Lake. It's one of the first things I mentioned earlier. Merry Christmas. Yeah. I had to use Google Translate on that one because unfortunately Russian is not exactly a what do you call that? A language I speak. But as for you, Xos, you're more interested in Fischl and Bennett right now. Of the 5 stars, I want Fiorina and Kazuha. Kazuha just had a rerun like a couple patches ago, I think. So you might have to wait a while before Kazuha comes back. As for Fiorina, did she have a rerun recently? I don't really remember, unfortunately. As for Fischl and Bennett, I mean, you could probably get their... I think you can get their cons in the shop, maybe? I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've paid attention to the 4 stars in the shop. I understand English at a basic level, but my speech is at 0. I see. No worries. I guess Google Translate is going to help us communicate. At least I hope so. She examines the mercenary's burning emerald eye.
This is my arcane skill. It allows me to see the traces that people leave behind. That's how I get these jobs, you see.
Nope, it's Kaya and Barbara now. I guess you'll have to wait when they rotate. I don't remember when they rotate. Is it with each patch, or is it with a specific date, like at the end of the month or something like that?
Ain't nothing happening that don't leave a trace. If there ain't no trace, then it never happened. I came to your room to look for evidence, not a person.
In like 20 days? Then I guess it's probably when the month ends, then it will switch. I believe there is a specific order to the rotation between the characters in the shop, so you could probably plan for getting at least 1 or 2 constellations from the shop.
I see. You want to know whether the person you're tracking has been here, right?
Now we're talking.
Before I let you investigate the room, I have one more question. You take jobs from people nearby, don't you?
Of course. It's obvious, ain't it?
She doesn't get the response she wants. In this familiar silence, the experienced mercenary smells an imminent deal. It's a mixture of caution and trust, anticipation and doubt.
You seem more intrigued by my profession than my peculiar request. You're in trouble, ain't you? Then let me formally introduce myself. The name's Argus. I'm 26, and I have extensive experience as a mercenary.
Okay. I mean, usually when I introduce myself, I just say, hey, my name is Happy Owl, you know? I don't just say, hey, I'm 26, I have extensive experience as a mercenary. I mean, why not? It's one way to introduce yourself, I guess.
Let's make a deal. You may search this room all you like, and I won't say a thing. But in return, I'd like your assistance in my own investigation.
How, exactly?
Can you tell when that array on the cupboard was drawn?
Oh. I mean, I understand why Vertin would ask about that, but obviously I know that Argus has seen Barbara, the sheep-headed arcanist. So I wish Vertin would ask her about that, since she is actually looking for Barbara. Argus slings her shotgun over her shoulder and crouches down beside the nightstand. After a brief examination, she gives her assessment.
Less than 24 hours ago.
In other words, this was left behind by the last guest who stayed in this room.
Argus shakes her head.
Can't say for certain.
What was with the sound? Goddamn. Okay, before we continue, I need to just sit up for a second. Well, not sit up, stand up for a second because my ass is killing me. Ooh, that hurts. Yep, I've been sitting for quite a few hours. I was sitting already before starting the stream because I was doing some testing to make sure OBS would work before the stream. And of course, that means that my ass is now killing me because I've been sitting for way too long. Okay. I am back. We're good to go. Sorry for that little interruption. Glass bottles. Let me note down so that I can put timestamps on YouTube later on. We are at 01, 52, 53. Glass bottles. Don't forget this handy weapon in a brawl. I mean, I guess, yeah, sure, you can use a glass bottle in a brawl, but that usually leads to death, which I would not advise. Armament factory Chisos. Oh, so we are following Lilia then. The empty factory is cold and damp.
Let's see what you've got in there for me.
She wanders the factory, eventually spotting a large crate covered in postage stamps in the receiving room. Did you play Reverse 1999 the whole stream? Today, yes. We are doing the story for the event, so I'll be dividing the story into several streams. Either 2 or 3 streams is usually the time that it takes me to go through an event story or even a main story, depending on how long it is. But usually I do between 8 to 10 stages of a story in one stream, and then I repeat the process until I'm done. And usually there are about 24 stages in a story. That's how long they've been, more or less. But I can't really tell you much more because sometimes there are more than 24 stages, sometimes there are less, and some stages take longer than others, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly. But I should be on Reverse at least for today and probably and most likely tomorrow and maybe Friday as well. Next up, I don't know exactly what I'll be streaming. We might get back to Genshin or Wuthering Waves or Honkai Star Rail, who knows. I haven't exactly planned that far ahead. Well, it's not that far ahead, but still, I haven't planned it just yet. So for now, it will be some Reverse for the next couple of days. The crate is nailed tightly shut. She squints, having only the moonlight to help her read the words on the box. Oh, this is Red 38. Red 38, Lilia.
Hey, buddy!
Pat a passing person on the shoulder. Excuse me, my name X. I am XX. Yo, I work as XXX. Can you tell me the way to the store? Is that how it works, Argus? I am not sure what you meant by that sentence, unfortunately. Wait. Pat a person, excuse me, my name is X. Oh, okay, I work as X. Can you tell me the way to the store? Okay, I get what you meant in regards to her way of introducing herself. Translator is cooking. Yes, you know what? At least they are trying. But I did understand. They meant about the way Argus introduced herself. Hi, I am X. I'm 26 years old, etc. Now I get the point. And yeah, apparently that's how Argus starts a conversation with people. Don't ask me why. She squats down and inspects the crate. After tapping it a few times, she frowns.
They just left her in a wooden box. What kind of safekeeping is this? Anyway, I don't have much time. I'll settle that with them later.
She grabs the crate and tries to lift it. It doesn't budge. It's bound by arcanum.
Alright, at least they bothered to put a gravity ritual on it.
No, she can't get her Red 38 back. Light footsteps echo behind her.
Are you also preparing to evacuate?
Who the hell is that? Oh, that's Kayla, I believe, the girl Argus is looking for? Lilia turns around. A slender girl stands before her, a basket in her arms.
Ah, perfect timing. Are you in charge here?
I don't think this girl works at an armament factory. She doesn't look the part. The girl looks her up and down before giving a sweet smile.
I'm not in charge of anything, Lieutenant. I'm just passing through. I'm Kayla, by the way.
Does that mean that everybody can just pass through an armament factory? Like, does Kayla have no affiliation with Xeno or the armament factory, and yet she can just enter the place like this?
I heard some rattling here and thought some of those kids might have come back to steal weapons again. These things aren't cheap, and the kids know it.
My concern would not be about the fact that the weapons aren't cheap. I would rather be concerned with the fact that the kids would get their hands on weapons. That's dangerous.
Kids stealing from the military? Huh, that's a new one. Where are the guards here?
I mean, I guess it is the United States, so there is that.
Oh, didn't they tell you, Lieutenant?
The girl sounds surprised.
The army stationed here started evacuating a month ago. There aren't many of them around these days.
Evacuating?
The Foundation's report was correct. Lilia senses impending danger.
Then where can I find the soldiers that are still here?
You're new in town, right? Did you see a bar on your way here? That's where the Xeno soldiers spend their nights drinking. You might want to check there first. That's probably where you'll find him.
Him? What does he look like?
Like every other Xeno soldier. They all look the same to me. You'll know him when you see him.
That statement is contradictory. They all look the same, but you'll know when you see him. How does that work? Because they all look the same, so how could you differentiate between them and know when you see him? That really doesn't make sense to me. She pauses, looking the pilot up and down.
But I have to tell you, the bar doesn't like outsiders. Have you heard of the Order of Enlightenment?
Oh, yes, we have.
It's an occult society. Very active these days. They were preaching in this town just a few days ago. Today is their day of prayer.
And, what does that have to do with me?
The bar you're going to is where they gather to pray.
Okay, that's a problem.
That's all I know. If you're going up there, please, be careful.
Yes, please do be careful, because the last time a member of the Foundation had a run-in with the Order of Enlightenment, that was Matilda, and everybody who was present almost died. So, please, Lilia, be careful.
Huh, thanks.
Lilia turns and leaves. The girl watches as she goes.
May the sufferer watch over you.
Ah, shit, she's a believer too. She is part of the Order of Enlightenment.
Great sufferer, by your decree, the glory of former days shall grace our present path.
She whispers a prayer as she clasps her hands together. The black facets of her ring shimmer. Oh, I didn't see that she had a ring. Damn it. My bad. Should have been more observant.
Great sufferer, by your decree, the glory of former days shall grace our present path.
We dedicate our souls and minds to you. We seek the well-being of our people in your name.
You should be some horror narrator. Thank you, I'll take that as a compliment. I do try to read things with a specific voice. A solemn atmosphere fills the bar. A small group has gathered under the dim lights, some in black robes, other in everyday clothes. They lean on each other like brothers and sisters. The man leading the prayer raises his glass and gives a toast.
May the sufferer watch over you.
I guess they are all believers.
Under the grace, may our cups overflow.
My theory is still that the sufferer is Arcana.
To the sufferer!
To the sufferer!
Yay, let's all cheer for the cult. The bar door flings open.
Huh? Odd time for a stranger to come.
I guess Lilia really doesn't give a shit. The young pilot looks around.
No crashing the party, am I?
She heads straight to the bar, where the shelves glitter with various bottles. Ah, she's looking to drink.
Napa Valley, Californian Red, Kentucky Whiskey. Ha, there's a lot of good stuff here. 1 vodka, straight. The best you got.
It ain't business hours, lady.
Seriously, a bar is closed? Unless it's the middle of the night. Oh, and I heard a gun. Ah. And the cocking of a gun, I believe that's the word. She knows that sound. Someone's cocking a gun just inches away from her. There you go. I found the right word.
Hey, all I did was ask for a drink. Is this how you treat your customers?
As I said, we ain't serving you.
Cocking? I believe it's the, how do you describe that? I'm not a gun expert, so it's gonna be hard for me to tell that. I believe it's when, you know, you've probably seen that motion in many movies. You know, the main character, for instance, they have a pistol in their hands, and they would put the magazine inside the pistol, and then they would put their hands on the barrel of the gun, on the top side of the gun, and they would pull it back and then pull it back. Well, they would pull it back and then pull it forward on the gun. I don't know if it makes any sense the way I'm describing it, but I believe that is cocking. Alright, I know. Okay, you know what I mean. Sorry, I hope this wasn't too much of a long-winded explanation. It's just, I have no idea how else to describe it.
Why? Don't you have vodka? Fine, I can settle for whiskey. Have to learn to take what we can get, eh?
But cocking still sounds sussy. Yes, it does. I can't deny that.
You ain't getting that either.
Seriously? You don't have any whiskey?
She glances at the whiskey bottles lining the shelves.
I'm starting to understand why Zeno evacuated. What's the point of living in a town where there's no real liquor? Especially for those drunkards.
What's a Xeno lieutenant doing here anyway? No alcohol fuel in that warehouse of yours?
The patrons laugh.
Huh, you sure have some interesting drinking habits down here. But I'm curious, what did the sufferer promise you to make you all change your faith? I mean, that's quite an achievement, especially here in Texas.
She turns, narrowly avoiding a bullet. It whizzes past her hair.
Oh, so we're doing this now, are we?
She really doesn't care. She's in the middle of a bar with plenty of members of a cult, and she's like, yeah, sure, let's fight. You know what, let's go with Jessica. It's been a while since I've played Jessica. Oh shoot, I should have gotten Lucy out because she would have made things easier, but never mind that. Let's buff. Buff more.
Oh, please. I know how to use it.
Attack.
Your legs.
Lily!
I don't think I'll be able to kill
Hold
here.
on. Psychiatrist at work.
Or maybe I will, because this is an easy stage. Yes, the difficulty is easy. Okay. Because I was thinking that my Jessica certainly does not deal as much damage as my what do you call her, Lucy, for instance.
Serious. Stay focused.
Well, I guess I don't really need to think all that much. Everything should be fine. These skills, yep, okay. And then we have one left. And these should be more than enough. I think it might even be overkill. Yep.
I've already said that Sotheby doesn't need a bodyguard.
It's been a while since I've played Sotheby. She's been kind of replaced by my Kakanya. Bottles crashes to the floor, splashing alcohol all over the bar.
Look, I don't care what you're doing here. Just tell me where that Xena soldier went.
She looks down at the bar owner slumped over the counter.
What Xeno soldier?
The man strains to open up his swollen eyes.
Don't play dumb with me.
Oh, that soldier. He's a complete idiot, that one.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the soldier that we saw and was kind of hostile to Vertin? Well, not kind of. He was definitely hostile to Vertin. I'm guessing that's the one. Oh, so at the end of the day, if Lilia was just going back to the hotel, she would probably see the guy straight away. Lilia solved them with one finger. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. There were like, I don't know how many of them. She was alone and they still managed to lose. That's quite impressive. But to be fair, Lilia is a child soldier. She's been fighting her whole life, so she's probably got quite a lot of experience.
It's obvious that Xeno has abandoned him, but he insists that they left him here because they believe that only he could keep the warehouse safe. Why are you looking for him now, if you decided to ditch him in the first place?
Listen, I can tell you guys aren't the biggest fans of Xena, but that has nothing to do with me. I'm just here to get my stuff back.
I love the way she is. She just has her objective, she wants what she wants, and she doesn't care about the rest. No surprise she's a lieutenant? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know exactly how old she is, but she looks young to me, and to achieve the rank of lieutenant at her age, whatever her age may be, it's very impressive. He takes a labored breath.
Fine. If you insist on finding him, try your luck on the outskirts of town. He might be drinking there.
She's 74? I somehow doubt that information. I know that in reverse there are plenty of characters who appear much younger than they actually are, such as Eternity, for instance, or a Jun Young-je, or... although no, perhaps not Zhu. Zhu might not be the case, but Eternity is definitely one case. Lucy's a robot and she's like 200 to 300 years old, I think. But yeah, there are plenty of characters like that, but I think Lilia is still actually quite young.
Thanks.
She steps over the unconscious man beside her and leaves the bar. To be continued. What is this? I think Lilia is around 18 to 20 maybe? Yeah, probably. I feel like that's much closer than 74. Or rather, it's much closer to the truth than 74 is. Periodic report. Every day, thousands of documents pass through the headquarters, and this is merely one of them. Read the report. St. Pavlov Foundation report, report number many X's, from Field Investigation Team Leader Andreas Sylvester. Never heard of him. To Office of the Vice President of the St. Pavlov Foundation. Dear Madam Vice President, after a month of surveillance, my team has identified several Manus Vindictae agents operating in the southern United States. At least 3 have been traveling between Dallas, Austin, and Houston. They are likely establishing information and supply channels for the Order of Enlightenment. Several others are active along Route 77, frequently using aliases and disguise potions to keep their exact identities and numbers hidden. However, at least 5 false identities have been confirmed. Please find detailed information on these agents attached to this report. I believe these findings further substantiate our hypothesis that the Order of Enlightenment is planning to carry out an unprecedented arcane ritual. I'm guessing, reviving Arcana. That's my guess. Additionally, informant reports indicate that a spy known as Miss Grace is active in Texas. See attached document. We await your directive on whether to pursue further surveillance of this individual. May the peace be with us. Field Investigation Team Leader Andreas Sylvester. A spy known as Miss Grace. But is Miss Grace a spy for the Order of Enlightenment, or is she spying on the Order of Enlightenment? That's not the same thing. But I have seen images of a certain Miss Grace. I didn't really pay attention to it because I had no idea what that was about. But I know that I've seen images on YouTube. I saw a short from the official YouTube channel, I think. But I don't know who Miss Grace is. She kind of looked like Miss Moisson. So maybe they are the same? Who knows? The Parchment, number 7. We are at 0214. The Parchment, a magical medium upon which every sentence written speaks a profound truth.
We can't say for sure if this ritual was created by the last guest. Fact is, you can find all kinds of unusual markings in this motel. Most of them less than a month old. Very recent indeed.
She says less than a month old. Strangely enough, Miss Kimberly arrived about a month ago. So I feel like there might be some kind of correlation, especially if Miss Kimberly is indeed the girl who appeared at the tail end of last patch. So, could make sense. Does Layla work... Oh, Layla, my bad. Does Layla work good with Nouvelat? Why not? If you need a shielder for a Nouvelat, she can certainly do the job. She is an excellent shielder, so yeah, I would say so. The only thing she brings to the table, though, is going to be shielding and that's it. Oh, and she can allow him to freeze enemies, I guess. But if you don't have C1 Nouvelat, you probably want to have a shielder, otherwise he will get knocked off whenever he's doing his charge attack. So I'd say that she could be a good match for him. I personally use my Zhongli, but it's because I'm a fan of Zhongli. But I think I've used Layla previously, so I guess it should work. My team is now Nouvelat, Layla, Sucrose, and C1 Shalonen. Yeah, I don't see why that team wouldn't work. You have Viridescent Venera on Sucrose, you have Shalonen, and yeah, in my opinion, this team works perfectly, I think. Although you would have to check whether or not you get his full passive. Nouvelat has a passive, whereas whenever an ally makes a reaction with Hydro, I think it was. He gains a damage bonus, or rather Nouvellette gains a damage bonus. And I don't remember how many characters you need for that to happen, so you would have to check on that one. But otherwise, as far as I can tell, this team is pretty good.
The maid said that there aren't many tourists these days, so my guess is that a group of skilled arcanists have left their work in every room. Based on the markings I've seen so far, there were about 3 to 5 people in this group.
Okay, that's quite a bit more than I expected.
And was there a sheep-headed arcanist among them?
Well, that I don't know.
Wait, please mention the fact that you have met a sheep-headed arcanist.
What I can say, though, is that there was a sheep living in here. I saw some hoof prints on the hallway floor.
Never mind, I thought she would mention the fact that she actually met Barbara earlier.
It looked like someone had stayed in this motel with a sheep. Sounds pretty odd, but I suppose it ain't too strange given the local farmland.
Never mind, I guess she did not make the connection between the two. He does like 6k only now because he's level 70, and I have attack artifact, but only one artifact? One artifact is not enough, and attack does not matter for Nouvellette. You want to... 6k per charged attack. Yeah, I gotcha. But you want HP on him. Attack does absolutely nothing for him. He does not scale off of attack, as far as I know. I know that is what I meant. I guess you're referring to the 6k part, but yeah. 6k, I mean, it's a start, especially if he's still level 70. You have a little bit of ways to go. As I said, his HP matters a lot in terms of how he deals his damage, and therefore leveling him up to 90 is certainly advised because he will get more HP.
But I'm sure this will catch your attention.
What?
We all know that sheep walk on 4 hooves, but the hoof prints I saw were different. They were small and delicate, and most importantly, followed the movement pattern of a human. Judging by the trail.
And attack level is 4? Attack level. Are you talking about the talent itself, like the normal attack is level 4? Are you talking about that? Yes. Okay, that's very low. You can do much more damage once you level that up. My Nuvi, it's been a while since I've played with him, and I'd say he's very decently built. With a full team rotation, usually the lower end of his damage is around 13 to 20k, and the higher end of his damage is usually 50k per tick on his charged attack. So once you level him up, don't worry, the damage will go up as well. I'm low on Mora right now. Ah, the bottleneck of Mora. It has happened to me as well. Patience will give you Mora, because you get Mora in events and stuff like that, so it will come back at some point.
The owner of the hoofprints was about the size of a slender kid, maybe 5 feet tall.
Argus is not mentioning at all that she met Barbara before, which leads me to believe that maybe she did not meet Barbara before, and the scene we saw at the very beginning of the story was something that happens later on. This description exactly matches the Foundation's report.
That's it. That's the one I'm looking for.
Don't I know it? They can question my morals, but nobody can question my competence. So, may I enter your room now, Miss Vertin?
Please.
Now, let's start with this little thing. The carvings are new. No sign of woodworm damage or moisture absorption.
Or maybe Argus is main villain and she's hiding something? I'm so smart. I mean, could be. Don't know if that's the case. I don't think so. In my opinion, the main suspect for me is Tuesday. She looks very suspicious.
These splinters along the edge are extremely sharp. Hmm?
You know, she, although no, I shouldn't say that she looks suspicious, but she gives a vibe, like a sort of, there is an atmosphere about her that screams, I am a secret villain who kills people in my motel, or something like that. She dips her finger into a dark red crumbly residue.
Is this dried blood?
She rubs the granules between her finger and her thumb, reducing them to a fine powder.
Blood was used as the medium for this array. The circle isn't fully closed here, and the lines are a bit uneven. Whoever drew this doesn't seem to be an expert. You know how to deal with this, right?
All you have to do is ask, boss. You might be surprised.
We need to destroy it as quickly as possible. I think it's been left by a dangerous occult group.
Oh, was that left by the Order of Enlightenment then?
Hold on.
She places a pillow over the wood and pulls the trigger. After a faint gunshot, the lingering light goes out. Okay, I have seen in movies that you could use a pillow to muffle a gunshot, but can you actually really silence a shotgun with a pillow? I can't try it. I don't have a shotgun. I have plenty of pillows, but I don't have a shotgun. So, if anyone knows, I am curious. Fresh blood oozes from the array, settling in the faded carvings.
Is that blood?
The mercenary, unfazed, dips her finger into the red liquid and sniffs it.
Yep, the blood of an arcanist. So it can't be Kayla's.
Can you discern the owner's identity?
I ain't all-knowing. I can't identify people by their blood.
Do we know someone who could do that? I don't think so. But for some reason it reminds me of some character. I don't know who, but I believe that there is a character who uses blood. Oh, it's not in Reverse 1999, it's in Wuthering Waves. Dungeon, she uses her own blood when she's fighting.
No, I'll need more than just blood to find out who was here. Hmm?
She fishes out a dusty sheepskin journal from the gap between the cabinet and the wall. She flips through the pages.
We are the beginning and the original source of metals.
We are the beginning and the original source of metals? The heck does that mean?
Through us, the highest tincture of art is brewed. There is neither a spring nor water like mine. I heal and help both the rich and the poor.
That... I am utterly lost.
Yet I am full of hurtful poison.
Are you talking about a cauldron? Like the cauldron of a witch?
What the hell does that mean?
Ah, thank you, Argus. I'm asking the same question. And Ktos, I can see your heart. I'm guessing it's for Argus, because Argus is very pretty. If it's not, well, that's fine, but I will say it. Ah, Argus is hot.
It's a quote from a text on alchemy.
All challenges will be resolved with the provision of sufficient and high-quality materials and the precise execution of the array.
I'm not gay though. I mean, I think Argus is a woman. I think. I didn't really check her gender, but given what's going on with her chest area, I would say that she's probably a woman. Unless you're yourself a woman, and in that case, that would explain why you would say that, I guess. So, this is sometimes very confusing.
But where do we find these materials?
She continues to flick through the journal, releasing the accumulated alchemical residue on its pages into the air. On the last page, tortured words are scrawled on the paper. It looks like something a criminal would write in their final moments before their death. Their death sentence, my bad.
What was once sundered shall reunite.
Oh, you okay, Vertin? Her nose burns as barely visible sparks heat the air. What?
I've seen this handwriting before.
Yeah, no, Argus is
In
hot.
here.
I maintain it.
My phone number.
He hands over a dollar bill with a string of numbers scrawled along the blank space. Yes, you have. Okay, this is a memory from before. Would Singcho, Yao, Lisa, and Beidou work for Hyperbloom? Singcho, Yao, Lisa, and Beidou. Yeah. Yep. It would. Though, you might want to try and have another. I mean, no, it's complicated because for Hyperbloom you need enough Dendro application, and Yao's application is okay. She's certainly not the best, but she can do the job. But ideally speaking, you would either want another Dendro user, or either pair Yao with another Dendro user, or just replace her with someone like Nahida or a Dendro Traveler. But for Beidou, that's the problem. Beidou needs another Electro character, otherwise she runs into energy issues very fast. Unless you have many Favonius weapons on your team. So for Beidou, unfortunately, yeah. So for Lisa, I can't tell you about Lisa because I don't really know how she's being played. I don't play her myself. I played her at the very start of the game, but it's been a very long time. But in this team, let me think. No, I guess I would probably replace Beidou with the Dendro Traveler instead. Like do Singcho, Yao, Lisa, and Dendro Traveler, I think. But I don't know if Lisa has the same kind of energy generation issues that Beidou has. So that's probably what I do. But you said you were interested in Fischl, right? If you have Fischl, Fischl could do a good job, I think. I don't know if she activates Dendro cores that easily. Do you have Cookie Shinobu by any chance? Because she is a premium user for Dendro reactions, or rather for Hyperbloom. She's excellent for that. The two best Electro characters for Hyperbloom are Raiden Shogun and Cookie Shinobu. If you have Cookie, that would be better, because Raiden, you might not want to put Elemental Mastery on her, whereas Cookie, you can slap 1000 EM on her and she's great. Nope, it's my second account and I got Ororon. Doesn't Ororon apply Electro thanks to his burst? I believe his burst leaves him off field, so he could just pop his burst and then you switch characters. So I guess Ororon could work. I've never heard of Ororon in Hyperbloom team, so don't quote me on that. I don't know if it's something that works fine, but as far as I can tell, he's kind of like Fischl, but with his burst. Well, in that case, if you can keep up with his energy requirements, I don't know what they are. I have no interest in Ororon, so I never really looked up what he does or things like that. But if you can manage to keep up his burst active, then it might actually work for a Hyperbloom team, I think. The mercenary pulls out the crumpled bill from her pocket, comparing the handwriting with that in the journal. So she does remember. So, okay, so my theory, my hypothesis, was wrong about the fact that what happened in the very beginning of the story might have not happened yet. It did already happen, yet she doesn't seem to quite remember it somehow.
Yep, this is definitely the same.
Oh god.
That sound. It's a Flying Arrow M1903 pistol.
That's very specific.
Kimberly? What's wrong with her now?
She seems annoyed.
I better go check it out, boss. Something don't seem right. You coming?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you hear a gunshot in the motel, something bad happens, you know? It's not a normal sound to hear.
That Kimberly must have run into something.
To be continued. Ah, very well. Face reality. Let me note down, as I said, I do put down some timestamps on YouTube once the VOD is up. And this is going to make my life much easier. Face reality. Going through all those Miranda rights before an interrogation. Man, we ain't got time for that. Ah, I see. So no Miranda rights, I guess. Hey, can I ask you a question about Reverse 1999? Of course you can. Well, I don't know if I'll have the answer, but you can certainly ask the question. Oh boy, that's a pretty image. The thick carpet in the hallway is usually enough to dampen any sound. But no amount of soundproofing could stop the sound of a gunshot from echoing through the place. At its source, I don't remember how they pronounce this name, Stefan, I guess? Stefan's limp, twitching body lies on the floor. There is a gaping hole in his head. She's trembling in fear.
Is he still alive?
Usually with a gunshot to the head, kind of hard to to survive that. He certainly does not seem to be alive. I recently started playing the game and I managed to get a free temple. I got a Matilda and a Barbara. Is that good? Matilda can be used. Early game, she can certainly be used. On top of that, you will get a free copy of her, I think. I don't know if the free copy is still available. That was available at launch, so I don't know about that. But Barbara, I know I've used her when I was early game, so that's definitely good. Barbara, I don't know. I unfortunately can't tell because she's a character that just came out this patch. And I don't have her because I have not done any pulls this patch. So I can't answer that second part, at least for the second character. But Matilda, you can definitely use her for early game. At least in my experience, she served me quite well. Alright, thank you. Also, your voice is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. And you're welcome for the information. And I wish you good luck with Reverse. And thank you for the follow, Mihai. Welcome to the community and welcome to Reverse 1999. It's an excellent game. I doubt you will regret choosing to play it. I'm not paid by Reverse. I mean, I'm a very small streamer, obviously. They wouldn't pay me, but I love the game. So it's really a great game. I hope that you'll love it. Argus can identify a gun by a shot, but cannot identify people by blood. It would be fun if Argus could lick blood like Connor from Detroit, become human, and find all the info about a person. That would be very funny too. That would be very funny, but you know, they all have their different specialties, I guess. I'm playing with English audio and I absolutely love the old British accents. you will see there are many different accents in this game. While all the characters speak English, they have many different accents: German, Russian, everything is in there, and you often sometimes also hear actual dialogue lines in other languages. Obviously, you have your subtitles, but I feel like it's very immersive to have all of these. Ooh, I'm gonna go back to see that. Yeah, you'll see there are lots of accents in here, so it's really great.
Just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber.
I mean, to be fair to Argus, Miss Kimberly is kind of dumb to ask if the dude is alive when he just shot himself in the head. I mean, I'm assuming that he shot himself. We don't know yet, but certainly looks that way.
Is this a suicide?
He pulled out the gun and shot himself in the head. His brain splattered on the walls and flowed onto the floor.
Her muttering is almost a confession. Argus kneels down to examine the body.
There's gunshot residue and powder burns near the wound. Gunpowder particles on his fingers. There's no doubt. He died from a gunshot wound. The bullet was fired from the pistol in his hand and went straight through his skull.
Oh. I love that. There is no doubt. He died from a gunshot wound. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you told me that he got stabbed in the heart, I would have been quite surprised, as we didn't see any kind of wound in his heart. So, yeah, the gunshot is kind of obviously the answer. I mean, perhaps he's been poisoned as well. Who knows? But yeah, I just find it very funny. The way she says it with certainty, like it's not just obvious, you know. Anyway, I just got some random sword from Standard Banner, 5-star. I believe that's an energy regen weapon, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the exact name. Is it Skyward Pride, I think? I put that on my Traveler. Don't ask me why. I feel like it fits him somehow. It's not exactly a great weapon, to be honest, but it can have some uses. So it's not a complete loss, I'd say. Yeah, I will use it for a Singcho right now. If you have it, I would advise you to put the Sacrificial Sword on him. I believe that's the name of the sword. The passive gives you a chance of resetting the skill cooldown, and that is very useful for Singcho. You definitely need an energy regen weapon on him, that's for sure. But in my experience, Favonius weapons can work, or the sacrificial weapon is probably the best. At least in my experience, it makes things work much better. I don't have it, Lamar. God damn it. Well, pray that you get it sooner rather than later, because once I put the sacrificial sword on Singcho, it has never left him. Never. Curse of a new account. Yeah. When you are at the very start of the game, you lack even the most basics of weapons, which is quite unfortunate, but it's also the, you know, the pleasure of starting anew, and discovering things and trying new things as well, because you have to contend with the fact that you don't have all the characters, you don't have all the weapons and artifacts and stuff like that. So you have to have some drawbacks, I guess. Yes, oh
but
right.
This ain't just any pistol. It's a Xeno pistol. You've got yourself in some serious trouble, Missy.
It wasn't me!
Her face is still pale, but she manages to stop her shaking.
I'm just an innocent, sad, terrified girl who just happened to pass by.
Okay, that is the most suspicious thing that anyone could say. Describing yourself as an innocent, sad, terrified girl. It makes me look at you with even more suspicions, especially because you look like the girl from the end of last patch. So, yeah, that's... Oh god.
Well, Miss Innocent, sad, and terrified.
Thank God Argus doesn't just fall for that.
If you want to prove your innocence, start by telling us what happened here. And mind you, I will call you out if you lie. The evidence here will tell me what's true and what ain't.
She points to her eye.
If you're so clever, then why are you asking me? Just figure it out yourself.
Her protestation is weak. She quickly gives in.
All right, I'll tell you. This madman has been harassing me. Ever since I moved into this place, I'd often seen him pacing around in the hallway. Day and night, he'd stomp around out here. He didn't care if anyone else was trying to sleep. I thought he must have had a lot on his mind, like he was troubled or something. So I asked him what happened. His deep, sunken eyes were bloodshot. Every fiber of his being screamed that something was wrong with him. Sir, if you have any problems, there are many ways to solve them. But pacing in the hallway isn't one of them. Plus, it disrupts everyone's sleep.
As a man with severe issues with sleeping, I do not like this guy. If someone disturbs my sleep, I am going to be pissed off. I won't, argue with them or anything like that, but internally a fire would be burning inside. Yeah, no. Please be respectful of other people's sleep. It's very important.
I swear I didn't say anything too harsh, but he was just downright rude.
Well, he certainly seemed so when he talked to Vertin.
Get the hell away! Get out of my face!
Excuse me! That's pretty rude, you know! I had no desire to argue with the madman. Thankfully, the maid intervened when she heard what was going on. I have no idea what she said to him, but eventually they came to terms. He stopped pacing the hallway from then on. That was a relief. I'm sure the other guests would agree. That maid can vouch for what I've said. Ask her yourselves.
I mean, sure, but that does not tell us what just happened now. It tells us what happened, a while back in the past.
Not long after, I found a letter from Stefan on the floor of my room. It had been slid under my door. In the letter, he apologized for his behavior. Should I make peace with him? I thought. As I wondered, I took a look through the peephole. It was strange. I couldn't see a thing. It was pitch black out there. Is it broken? I wondered. Before I could dwell on it too much, the phone rang. I was startled, but it was just the front desk calling.
Hello, Miss Kimberly.
Is it dinner time already?
No. Is there an issue between Mr. Stefan and yourself?
She seemed hesitant to speak.
I know it's not my place to ask, but the situation is a little concerning.
I don't like the ominous sounds that I'm hearing.
Mr. Stefan is standing at your door, his face pressed up against it, so I just want to confirm that everything's all right between you two.
Okay, that jump scare did not actually scare me, but it was certainly interesting. So the reason why she couldn't see anything was because he was pressed up against her door, I guess. I've never tried that, so I guess it probably works that way, I suppose. Strange behavior from Stefan, my bad.
And that's what happened.
Calm down, miss. It's all over now. Do you still have that letter with you?
A look of disgust comes across Miss Kimberly's face as she gestures to the trash can nearby.
Who'd hold on to that? I threw it out right away. It's somewhere in that bin.
This look at the keyhole made me feel goosebumps. That means that their jump scare worked, I guess. I mean, it does definitely do a lot for the atmosphere of this whole story. Argus quickly retrieves the crumpled piece of paper from the trash can. She smooths it out on her palm and reads its contents.
Dear Ms. Kimberly, I've got a question already. How did he know your name? You didn't know each other well enough to have exchanged them, did you?
I'm the victim here, damn it! You can't interrogate me like this.
Well, technically speaking, she's not supposed to interrogate you, period. She's not a police officer, she's just a mercenary, from my understanding. So, she does not well, she can question, she can do whatever she wants, actually. She can ask you questions, but you are not obligated to answer her, I guess. Anyway.
But if you must know, maybe he heard it when my friend called me.
Your friend?
Why? What's so odd about that? A young girl like myself should never travel alone to places like this.
So you have someone with you. This is the first time that it has been mentioned. And once again, I feel like this girl looks exactly like the girl we saw at the end of last patch. And it would have surprised me if that girl, because we didn't know the name of the girl back then. It would have surprised me if that girl was the same with this one, but traveled alone, because she was kind of summoned by a Manus Vindicte soldier, and she had to kind of use him. Although, no, technically speaking, he made the wish for her to appear, but then he does not have the intelligence to do anything with her. Which means that she's essentially free, but I think she still has to keep him around in order for her to keep existing the way she is existing now. Which all comes back to the fact that Miss Kimberly is not alone, but this is the first time we've actually heard about that. So I feel like maybe her so-called friend is the dude that I mentioned, the Manus Vindicte soldier that summoned her in the previous patch. If these are actually the same girls, or the same girl, if they are one and the same... Oh god, you get my point. She continues in her indignation.
I need someone to make my bed and prepare my clothes and, most importantly, I need to eat. I wouldn't even be here if I weren't looking for...
You need someone to make your bed and prepare your clothes? And eat? Like, can't you do that on your own? You look like a grown woman. Like, no offense, but if at whatever age you are, you can't make your own bed and prepare your own clothes, that's a problem. She gasps, covering her mouth with her hand, unless she has some specific reason for it, but in her case, I doubt it. But Argus isn't listening. She continues to read the letter aloud.
I want to apologize for my behavior earlier in the hallway.
Looks like a perfectly normal letter to me. No hints that this is from a man on the verge of a mental breakdown.
If you won't take my word for it, go ahead and ask the maid. She was there. She can vouch for me.
And hello, Kiona 2, I guess, is how you would pronounce your name. And thank you for the instant follow. Thank you very much and welcome to the community. We are here playing Reverse 1999. With a horror story very reminiscent of A Nightmare at Green Lake. I'm a person you've met before. Are you? I'm sorry, I don't remember, unfortunately. I'm very sorry about that, unless you changed your name. In that case, well... I'm not at fault, but if you didn't and I don't remember, I'm just on an alt. Okay, very well. That explains it, because I usually try to remember the names of my viewers. So I was kind of worried when I didn't recognize your name. Greetings and salutations, French dude. I see who you are. You've actually been on the stream today. I believe you were the very first message today. So I now recognize you very, very easily.
Please, we weren't accusing you of anything.
I can't. You're on both accounts, I see. Well, thank you for the follow. Argus lets out a laugh.
Though graphology has been criticized a lot these days, I gotta say, this looks more like a woman's handwriting to me.
So you mean Stefan was a woman?
Oh my god, she... Oh god, either she's extremely dumb or she's doing it on purpose, because at this point... I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I'll state it anyway. Argus is implying that this was written by a woman and not by Stephen, or Stefan, my bad. So it was either written by Miss Kimberly or by Tuesday, maybe. Certainly not by Vertin or Argus, because that's kind of obvious as well. But yeah, no, Miss Kimberly certainly knows how to make me laugh. Her aggression seems to dissipate as her eyes widen and her mouth drops.
You still with us, Missy? What I'm suggesting is that Mr. Stefan didn't write this letter, but a woman did. But that's just speculation. Chances are Mr. Stefan's handwriting was just a little feminine.
Could be, but at the same time, if he was already having some kind of mental breakdown, I feel like it might have impacted his handwriting, even changed it from the way he would normally write. If he was always twitching and stuff like that, it would make sense that his handwriting would change as well, or rather become messier or something like that.
I'll keep this letter for now. Back to my questions. If the story you told is true, then why are you at the scene of his death? Did you go looking for him? Even after all the weird things he'd done?
I was hungry, okay? That's a good enough answer for you? I can't just starve myself!
Hungry? If I remember correctly, the motel offers room service. And you get 1 free meal a day, so even if you ain't got no money, you have enough food to get by.
What do you know?
I mean, 1 meal a day is not much, to be fair. She looks flustered.
I'm not eating one of those ham sandwiches.
Yeah, on top of that, I kind of forgot that the meal a day is a ham sandwich and milk. That's really not much.
Alright, so you've got some standards when it comes to food. Let's drop that. You were there when he fired the shot, right? What happened then? Take your time and think it through. There's no rush.
About 15 minutes ago, he rang my doorbell. I thought my friend had returned from town. She always brings something amazing with her, so I opened the door. The last thing I expected was to see Stefan standing there. Who'd have thought that he could get back on his feet so quickly after the beating he took?
Okay, so what you just said kind of negated what I said earlier about her being the same person as the girl from the last stretch of the last patch, because I thought her friend would be... well, I don't know the gender of the soldier who summoned her, but it definitely looked like a dude, I'd say. I could be wrong on that, but as she said that her friend here always brings things, he doesn't really fit the description of the dude I have in mind, so maybe they are not one and the same. Maybe it's not the same girl as before. But she still is kind of suspicious in my opinion.
I was terrified when I saw him there. He towered over me, one hand on the doorframe and the other pushing against the door. I slammed the door shut. I thought he'd let go. But he didn't. The door closed on his fingers.
Oh, that hurts. Actually, that can be worse than hurting. Anyway, I'm not going to... No, never mind. Because I thought of an anecdote, but I am not going to talk about it because it's a bit gruesome. It's something that happened, not to me personally, but something that I witnessed. Be careful with doors and fingers. Closing doors and fingers can be a very dangerous maze.
I understand now. I understand it all. You're with Zeno, aren't you?
She's the last person I would suspect of being with Zeno.
His fingers were bent at a peculiar angle. It must have been painful, but he didn't seem to feel the pain at all. The fracturing of his fingers was no more painful than a mosquito bite to him.
Well, I mean, if he has a complete mental breakdown, maybe he truly does not feel pain, or maybe he does, but simply does not care, or perhaps does not register.
You came to me and made me drop my guard so that one day you could turn me in for a bounty. But why me? Why are you doing this to me?
So is he paranoid, maybe?
It wasn't me who made the plan. It wasn't me who executed it. It wasn't me who pressed that damn button.
Oh, God. He's the guy who pressed the button to kill Arcana, I guess. I think. Oh, I see why he is all out of shape, I guess. I don't really know what words to use to describe him. But, okay, yeah, I see. He's the guy who dropped the bomb. But because he cannot live with the guilt of doing that, he's trying to blame everybody else. I believe that is a real phenomenon that has been seen, especially with drone pilots. I had read a few articles here and there, but don't call me an expert on that subject. I might be entirely wrong. But yeah, okay, now I understand his story. Although, I may be completely off my rockers here. Maybe I'm... This is speculation off of one sentence, but it does make sense.
All I did was expose their crime to the rest of the world. Tell me, why else would they want my head so desperately if they didn't believe they were guilty?
Yeah, okay, so he flipped the story completely upside down.
In the meantime, the actual killers are treated as heroes. But I'm the hero. Me. But all my sorry ass gets is a lifetime of hiding out in some random motel in the middle of nowhere. This world is sick.
The girl with the gun in Act 6 that killed the 7 men sounded so horny for Vertin. Like on some starting to become yandere type shit. The girl in Act 6. The girl in Act 6. Are you talking about Schneider, perhaps? Because if you are early in the game, yes, okay. I see what you mean, yes. I don't want to spoil you on what is going to happen there, so I won't say anything, but Schneider is a great character. She is beloved by many fans. And she's kind of strange. I always had a strange feeling about her when she was in the story. Whenever she would pop out, yandere might be a good way of characterizing her.
What the hell are you talking about?
Come on, drop the act. Right after you spoke to me, Vertin showed up at my door. Are you trying to tell me that was just by chance?
But Vertin does not work for Zeno. She works for the Foundation. It's not the same thing.
Vertin? He totally ignored my question.
The world has fallen ill. I can see that now. The realm above truly does exist. How else would we have gotten the idea of a perfect heavenly realm?
Oh well, is she an event character or can I get her at any time? As far as right now, no, she has not come out. So at the moment, you cannot get Schneider in any way, shape, or form. She only appears in the story, and that's it.
Obviously, it doesn't exist in this world.
I don't care. Even if that place does exist, it has nothing to do with you. Get out of the way. I'm closing the door.
But at least I get to decide when I step through that door, right?
I mean, yes, but when someone asks you not to step into their room, usually you should not step into their room.
I had no idea what he was talking about. And he didn't give me much chance to figure it out either.
I don't think you could have figured it out because his rambling is kind of incoherent, at least to you.
I'm afraid your mission is doomed to fail, young lady.
In that moment, a smile of relief came over his face. Then, without a moment's hesitation, he pressed the pistol against his temple and pulled the trigger.
Ah, wow. He went out with a bang, I guess. Quite literally. Yeah, see, I'm gonna go back to playing.
You know the rest.
I'm trying to get the event 6-star character. I like how she looks. I believe the current event character is Tuesday. She is supposedly a great character, especially for poison teams. So if you somehow get your hands on a Jessica or Sotheby, they could be useful for that. But apparently she's going to be a cornerstone character for the poison archetype in terms of gameplay. I'm just talking about gameplay here. So she's definitely a good character to have around. I have not pulled for her myself because I'm saving for another character, but she's certainly a good character, especially if you're just starting the game. I think that it will make sense because from my understanding, she's going to become even more relevant in the next patches, thanks to some gameplay events and other characters that come out. As far as I know. Once again, do not quote me on that. I am not an expert. But good luck with your Tuesday pulls. I hope you get her sooner rather than later. The approaching footsteps stopped abruptly. They turned to the source. The maid stands before the group, showing just the right amount of surprise as her eyes fall upon the body.
What's going on in here?
Alright, thank you, sir. You are quite welcome, and thank you for checking out my stream. I hope you had fun, and I hope you will have even more fun with Reverse 1999.
This man killed himself.
Oh dear. There's blood everywhere. It'll be a lot of work to clean it all up, and with the weather being so hot, the room will soon start to smell.
Yeah, she does not seem really bothered by the fact that the dude died.
All the carpets have to go.
The maid lets out a long sigh, her tone tinged with annoyance.
Miss Tuesday, can I ask you a question?
I'm gonna keep coming back here today when I have news with how the game goes for me. No worries, you can do that if you want to. And well, I'll appreciate the feedback, no, the news, I guess, yes. And if you have any questions about the game, as I said, not an expert, but I do play the game, so if I can help you out, I certainly will.
Yes.
Have you ever had any guests who looked like or claimed themselves to be Manus Vindictae?
Manus Vindictae?
Her face flushes as she smiles faintly.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Could you explain in more detail?
Most of them dress in blue and black. Some drool a fair bit, and most of them can't speak in full sentences. The most notable feature is that they all wear masks shaped like hands. Have you seen any before?
Masks shaped like hands?
She taps her finger on her chin.
No, I've never had a guest who wore a hand-shaped mask. Never seen anyone in blue and black either. But if an organization was going to do something in secret, I don't think they'd be too public about it.
Hey, lady.
Argus doesn't hesitate to interrupt the conversation.
Take me to his room.
She points the barrel of her gun at Stefan's corpse.
Oh, it shouldn't be too hard for you to find the room yourself, right, Miss Argus? After all, that's how you make a living. But I can just tell it to you. It's 214. You must be curious about that room.
Yeah, she's definitely very suspicious in her way of speaking.
I'm surprised. You've been in almost every room in the motel, and you've been here for 2 days. You're like a child in your curiosity.
Okay, so what we saw at the very beginning of the story of this event, that happened 2 days ago, I guess, because that was prior to her getting to this motel. And yet, she never mentioned Barbara to Vertin. I'm still kind of hung up on that one.
This place would be much safer if you were the sheriff here.
Do you guys even have a sheriff in this town?
Anyway, I hope you can find that girl soon.
Standing before the bloody corpse, she looks down and gently adjusts the baby in her arms. Yeah, and is that truly a baby? I'm still wondering about that. I'm still not really convinced. Oh, we have a fight. Once again, let me note down where we are in the stream. 08. There you go. Spider Silk. They depict everything without saying a word. Do they? How? Anyway. Sometimes I really shouldn't be asking questions.
Why do you want to go to Stefan's room exactly? Is it related to our investigation?
Well, of course, boss. I'm here looking for Kayla, just as you're looking for that sheep-headed...
She falls into an unusual silence.
What is it?
Did she finally remember about Barbara?
That arcanist you're looking for. Is her name Barbara?
Finally! Okay, so she does remember.
You know her?
Yep. We met. On Route 77.
I guess it was so anecdotal for her that she didn't really think about it when Vertin asked.
I just got done asking 2 men about Kayla's whereabouts, and saw that it was getting dark. My sight ain't so good at night, and the nights are long these days. So I was in a bit of a hurry, hoping to get somewhere with proper lights as fast as I could. That's when I saw her, Barbara, all alone by the road. Some jerk of a driver dumped her there, and she asked me for a ride. I turned her down. Heck, I could hardly see. She'd have been better off waiting for the next driver than riding with a blind bat like me, you know? But as I drove away, I changed my mind. She was too young to be left out there all by herself, so I turned back to get her. But when I arrived, she was already gone. There was nothing but a trail of hoofprints in the dirt.
Thank you for the reminder. I mean, we did that 3 hours ago, but still.
When I got to the motel, I saw those hoofprints again. I gotta say, I was kinda relieved to see them. At least she made it here safely.
And is she still here?
Well, I've never seen any hoofprints leaving the motel.
So she's somewhere in the motel, but you haven't seen her in the 2 days you've been searching every single room? That's kind of suspicious.
But that don't mean she's still here. You gotta be mindful of what your mind picks up and what might slip you by. It's easy to ignore other evidence when what you've seen already fits your hypothesis.
Fair enough, but the point still stands. Either she's here but somehow hidden, or she has already left. But we can't really do anything about that second part, if we have no trail to follow.
That being said, it's still likely that she's somewhere in the motel.
All right. Then let's look for her.
It seems we're in agreement. To room 214.
202. 203.
She counts the doors as they walk down the hallway. The hell? Out of the corner of her eye, a flash of red catches her attention.
I've checked those too. Ain't much in them.
Argus, did you see a red door just now?
I did. I'm not Argus, but I did.
A red door?
Although I guess it's stupid of me to say that we are seeing things through Vertin's perspective, so of course I did.
Nothing. Must have been my imagination.
Oh, come on, Vertin, don't be so naive. You know that Arcane can do pretty much anything and everything, so it wouldn't be a surprise that if that red door was related to some kind of arcane ritual. As they approach the end of the hallway, they spot room 214. The door is slightly ajar. Clearly, Stefan left in a hurry. They enter. The thick curtains are pulled shut, blocking out almost all the light from outside. They are hit with the stale, sour smell of old alcohol. Did you notice Barbara and Tuesday's toys on the shelf at the end of the hallway? No, I did not. Wait, they have toys? I didn't know they had toys. I mean, Tuesday's toys might be the baby and Barbara might be a little sheep, I guess. But I didn't see that. Oh, I'd have to go back and watch my own VOD to check that out, but it's an interesting detail. I have to admit I was more focused on the red door, so I didn't pay attention to the end of the hallway. Good catch. Nicely done.
Are you alright? Can you still see?
Don't worry about it. Ain't the first time this has happened. This eye issue runs in the family. It's the price we pay for having our arcane power.
I mean them as toys. Ah, okay. I see. Okay, so smaller versions of them, maybe on some kind of cabinet or something like that. Huh. That's interesting, but why would they be there? Because Tuesday is already there in full version, like her actual body's there, and we have no idea where Barbara is, so why would they appear in such a manner? That still begs the question. The mercenary glances around the room, a slight frown on her face.
Now, what are we looking for, boss? People leave all kinds of evidence behind all the time. It'll be like wandering around in the woods without a compass if we don't know what we're looking for.
If you need a compass, you can ask Winsong. She always has one on her.
So if you don't want to be inundated with meaningless clues, you need to give me some directions.
Alright. First, I'd like to know what happened to Barbara. Second...
Fleeting images surface in her mind.
whether Manus Vindicte has been here, or anyone from that Order of Enlightenment. And last, about Mr. Stefan. The pistol he used was a xeno-military weapon, and he seemed to know about my relation to the vacuum bomb operation. It's likely that he once held a high rank within the xeno-military. I want to know why he came to this motel, and what happened to make him lose his mind here.
Lose his mind here? What makes you think he wasn't crazy already?
Xeno pays much more attention to its soldiers' mental well-being than any conventional military organization.
Oh, good on them.
It's because quite a few of them are arcanists. They're both Xeno's strength and weakness. So I'm inclined to think Mr. Stefan developed these mental health issues after entering the motel.
Ah, it's a fair point. If Zeno has both arcanists and human, we know that arcanists are often prone to having mental issues. We've seen that with Isolde. I mean, that was quite something. So I guess it would make sense for them to look after their soldiers with more care than usual conventional armies. But it's still good that they would make the commitment to care for their soldiers that way.
Huh. Is that so? I gotta say, I don't know much about all this military institution stuff.
Don't worry, you can trust Vertin. She knows her stuff. I was going to say she studied in school, but every time we saw Vertin in school, she did not study. She was always either thinking of something else or not in class. She would skip classes.
Right. So, here's the plan. First, locate Barbara. Second, look for any signs of Manus Vindictae or the Order of Enlightenment. And third, find out how poor old Stefan lost his marbles.
I have a feeling Argus is very good at just saying the same things again. Because basically she just summarized. It's not even a real summary. She just repeated whatever Vertin said before. And before that, she gave Vertin a summary of what had happened at the very start of the story, which is something that we had already seen. So I kind of feel like these dialogue lines were kind of useless.
Of course, I've got my own business to deal with. Tracking down Kayla.
She starts to meticulously search the room.
Hey boss, I've got something.
Alright. There's a series of small but clear traces imprinted in the dust.
These footprints are from a spider. Looks like the little guy went back and forth along here quite a few times. I know this might not seem pertinent to our investigation, but it is worth noting. You ever seen a spider make a phone call?
No.
I'm afraid I'm not interested in the movements of spiders right now.
Argus shrugs.
Come on, boss. Loosen up a little.
Oh, and I noticed that there is a December 2024 calendar hanging in the hallway. I did not see that either, not gonna lie. But good on you to catch that. December 2024. But that does not make sense. And the Kiss poster. I don't know what poster you're talking about, but the December 2024 calendar makes no sense because in-game we are... Well, right now we are supposedly in the 1960s, I think. But more importantly, at maximum, I believe in the proper timeline, we should be around 2009 or 7, maybe, something like that. But they have not gone all the way to 2024, so it's very strange if they actually have a calendar like that. Huh. Because that would place that calendar in the future and not the past. There. Although, to be fair, all the time travel shenanigans is quite confusing at some point. Drip, drip, drip. The sound of dripping water echoes nearby.
Do you hear that? Sounds like dripping water.
With every drip, a water stain grows larger and larger on the wallpaper.
I'm sure it's just the motel plumbing.
But...
The stain gradually takes the form of a hand, its 5 fingers all clearly defined.
Watch out!
Suddenly, the hand pulls itself from the wall and slams down. It's 1990, as I remember. Oh, for this patch? You might be right. I might be wrong on the 1960s. Especially because, yeah, no, there was that one dude that gave Argus his number, so it really doesn't make much sense. So yeah, it's probably 1990. You're probably right on that. But still, they shouldn't have a December 2024 calendar in 1990. Doesn't really make much sense, so we are still questioning that. The heck is that? When this unit's stress reaches 50, inflicts 2 stacks of dread on all enemies. That's a new mechanic. I've never seen that mechanic before. After being attacked, stress plus 10 and apply 1 stack of dread to the attacker. Can trigger 3 times per round. When this unit has 4 or more negative status, this passive has no effect. Ah, I see. What is dread? Damage taken reduction minus 5%. At the end of the round, deal the holder's current HP 3% Genesis damage. When targeted by a healing, buff, counter, or channel incantation, dispels 1 stack of this status at the end of the round. If this status has reached 10 stacks, additionally lose 90% of current HP. Oh wow, okay. That sounds really bad. I guess, yeah, for this it really works if you have Tuesday in your team. Another alternative I think would be 6, because he's an excellent buffer and debuffer. So he should be able to buff your character to remove dread stacks on them and debuff the enemies so that their passives does not trigger. Although to be fair, I believe that we should be able to pretty much one-shot everything here. Probably? We've been one-shotting everything thus far.
Psychiatrist at work.
The light that illuminates all.
Yep. Yep. No need to count for stacks.
Victory secured. I should excuse myself.
But now we have enemies coming out of walls.
Definitely more than meets the eye.
I'm with you on that. There's just too much Arcanum-related weirdness going on here. Never seen so many arrays in a motel before.
But we've only found 1.
In your room, yeah. But there are a load more. One room has them drawn from floor to ceiling. Looked like some kind of transformation array to me. I ain't no expert, so I can't say for sure.
I'm going to blame Tuesday once again. I know I have been saying that she's suspicious from the very start, but as the hotel's manager, I guess, I mean, if the hotel is named after her, or if she's named after the hotel, I don't know which way it went, but whatever role she has in the hotel, I'm guessing that if she wanted to remove the arrays, she would have, unless she placed them herself. Although we have no proof that she's an arcanist in terms of story. We know she's an arcanist because, well, she is a pullable character and she has her banner out right now. But in terms of story, we don't know that she's an arcanist. I guess we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, I'm guessing she's the one who put up these arrays.
What are they trying to do, I wonder?
Who knows?
She brings the conversation to an abrupt end and continues searching the room.
Oh, boss. You might be interested in this.
She peers under the bed.
It's another one. Just like the others.
Another array? A huge array lies beneath the bed. It's scattered with dark crystals. The design is familiar.
I've seen this before. It was also drawn in that Parchment notebook. This is indeed a transformation array. But it's not in its full form.
They were trying something. Check it out.
She plucks a hair from the carpet.
This is hair from the mane of a howler lion. And there are some other materials around it too. Not exactly sure what they are though. They're too finely ground. But one thing's for sure. Someone held a ceremony here, and for some reason, it didn't work out for them.
This is important. The Foundation needs to know about this.
The air is silent.
Argus?
The mercenary does not respond. She's still staring at the strand of hair between her fingers. It's chestnut-colored.
This is Kayla's hair. She was here, in this room, or at least someone who came into contact with her.
Oh, right. That probably makes more sense, because I don't see why Kayla would be in the same room as Stefan, right? Makes no sense, unless Stefan just was in contact with her, some of her hair somehow got into or onto his clothes and he brought them back to his room. That makes more sense in my opinion. Although, once again, I don't really see how the two of them would interact. The phone rings, cutting her off. To be continued. We are at 9. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a break here. Well, not a break. This will be the end of the stream, and it will break up the story into 2 places. I don't think I have what it takes to go for 3 more stages at the moment, because I'm starting to get very hungry. It's already 9:30 p.m. and I haven't had dinner yet. And I also want to avoid having my voice die on me, because as I said previously, if my voice dies, no streams. If no streams, sad. Basically, in Razor speak. That's how I would put it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that for today. We will continue tomorrow. Hopefully we'll manage to finish tomorrow. I don't really know. It all depends, because we've had stories that would last for a couple of what do you call that? Of not a couple. They lasted for 20 stages. Some others lasted for 24. So we will have to see about that. And these toys are even on the map. Yeah, after reading your message, I just saw them. They are right here, which is quite strange, to be honest. I mean, I still don't know why they would be there. So, kind of a strange detail. Do we see anything else? Yeah, it's very dark, so it's kind of hard to see anything, to be honest. But good on you to spotting that. That's an excellent detail. Maybe it will become relevant later during the story. And I can see your clapping hands, Marjolaine, and thank you very much for the clapping hands. I figured... I think I know what you mean by them, and I thank you for that. But we'll have plenty of time to discuss it later on. On that note, I will leave you for today. We will resume the story tomorrow. Let me switch scenes very, very quickly. Where is it? Just yapping. There you go. As I said, yeah, this will be it for today, because I've already been streaming for 3.5 hours, and my vocal cords usually don't last longer than, well, technically I can go up to 5 hours, but if at all possible, I'd rather preserve them for now. So we will continue the story tomorrow. Oh, and I just saw something. Thank you for the follow. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I know who you are. We've been conversing right now. So I do know who you are, but I just don't know how to pronounce your name. If you could drop me, what do you call that? A hint as to how to pronounce it properly, I would appreciate that very much. What to call you exactly. But thank you very much for the follow. As I was going to say, this is going to be the end of the stream, but we are going to continue the story tomorrow. Oh god. Okay, so you gave me a hint. Unfortunately, it's in Russian. I will ask my best friend, who is Marjolaine_art. She's my best friend, and she is actually learning to speak Russian. She's been learning for a couple of years now. The beetle is buzzing. That is what your name means. The beetle is buzzing. Wait, let me grab my headphones back to hear how Google Translate pronounces it. Jukjujit. Is that how you pronounce it? I believe that's what she said, the Google Translate lady. Jukjujit. That's what I hear. So I will try to endeavor to perfect my Russian accent. I do not speak a word of Russian, so I'm very sorry if that is not the best of pronunciation you've ever heard. Yeah, I will ask my friend to teach me to better pronounce Russian words. Anyway, thank you for the follow. That's lovely of you. I hope you enjoyed your time on the stream. And tomorrow I will be back for the following stages of Reverse. And we'll start the stream as usual at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time. So basically, yeah, I do stream every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time. Goddamn, is that long? And I also stream on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central European Standard Time. There you go. I managed to say it all in one go, with a bit of a delay between words sometimes, but never mind that. This will be it for today. Thank you for everyone who watched the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for the follows as well. That was lovely. I very much appreciate it. It makes me happy to see that people appreciate my stream, of course. And I will see you tomorrow. So until then, goodbye, and I hope you have a great time, whatever time it is for you, whether it is the morning, afternoon, or evening. I hope you have a great time. Goodbye.